record on this?
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There we
go.
go.
Awesome.
No worries. Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. Thanks,
That's
Pete.
fine.
Thanks, Pete.
Have popcorn.
Have a good day.
See you soon, bud. Right. Okay. How are we all getting on? Are we ready to play some D and D?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm running to remain calm and not strangle someone, but sure.
What have I done?
Lately.
Lately.
I've always got to say that. What have I done recently? You forgive me for all the other things.
I forgive you. Look, she's
Different.
the kind of person that holds a grudge. Very vividly. You okay, Luke?
Yep, I'm all right. So I'm just making sure I've got everything I need. Eventually. Right. Okay. Yeah, then I am, I believe, ready. So, okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of Seraphinna 5e campaign that I play with my friends, and these are my friends. Last we left off, Gan, you had left Silverfern through the rather clever theft of a couple of horses, which ended up in a brutal murder.
Brutal.
It was brutal. Threw him in a ditch, shot him, and well, you shot him,
Fed into a
fell
fence.
in a ditch, and then fed them to a fey cat. Yeah, relatively brutal.
Hey, some people call that brutal, some people call it breakfast.
True. You also managed to source a cache from Kath, who was sent to hunt you down, Jack. Well, say Jack. Hell, Misk.
It's a good point.
Do you just want to do your display name for me as well?
I will.
And in that cache, you found several scrolls, a magical marble, and some cold iron chains. And you started to dispose of certain magical scrolls upon their discovery. Only one or two of which have been saved. One's been saved by Luck and in her possession. And you hit the road. And it was a slow start. probably getting used to the horses. The horses getting used to you. Finding the right direction, and you are travelling through the forest of the Airwood east towards the town of River Point, being the next densely populated area on this side of the car. And you set up camp. And you all started to huddle down for the night and find rest. And Nezum, being the ever watchful sentry, just like normal Nezum now, stared on. And during the middle of the night, saw an individual approaching your camp. Luck, you're asleep. A dense fog surrounds you once again. Shadows flitting around, unable to tell the distance of how far they are away or how close. And you seem to see a large shape approach in the fog once again. A long, slender robed figure with multiple arms. And you hear a voice once again. You are making progress.
I'm trying, but you've set me on a very tortuous path that I can barely see.
Paths want to be discovered along the way.
How many of those books do I have to find?
The books? There's only the one.
You're to tell me there's only one of those things, and not another one that is twin to it, but for Solara.
Oh, each of the goddesses and their followers have many writings, many books they deem hold the wishes and the will of Solara and Lunara. The one you have there, well, from another time, where mortals felt the will of the goddesses. They suffered their wrath. Their agents walked upon them. Tell me, have you tried to read it yet?
A bit, yes.
To no avail, I am sure.
Not really. I think I can read a couple of words, but we're going to see a wizard of some kind that apparently is obsessed with this kind of things. And while I do not trust this individual in his mania,
No living person will be able to read that. They may guide you. There might be those that can point you in the right direction of where you might be able to learn. But none of them themselves will be able to tell you pages' content.
would you I need to wake up from the eternal slumber
What makes you say that?
You said no living person.
True. But you'd have to know which person to raise. And that's a
Indeed.
lot of trouble to get a spirit to return to their body after so long to read a book.
It will take too long either to decipher what the text might say. Also, there is one spell that could try to help me through that.
Well, I wish you luck.
Don't we all?
I wonder why you chose that name.
Isn't it obvious?
No,
Of course. You wouldn't get it.
why?
Because it's a concept that you have no need of.
Luck is not a concept. Luck is a force, a will, a nature, like any other. It's fickle, unbiased, uncontrollable. Is that why you picked that name?
In a way, but in your thinking, I would like to point out something. Even though some of us might say that it's not the same thing, fate might work just the same. I'm not as presumptuous as my parents when they named me. Luck is something way more in reach than fate, or what some might call it, destiny. I don't
Destiny,
believe.
fate, luck. Whatever of these terms you deem necessary for the path you are on, there is a task for you.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You are a bit muted, Luke.
There is a task for you that I have to present.
I'm listening.
You have a creature with you.
Nezum, I presume?
Yes.
Hmm.
Goes by that name. He is not alone of his ilk. Created by an individual. They are not the first of their master's creation to have fled. There is another. I would deem you and the Nezum to seek them out.
How stable is this creature?
As stable as any of their fellow kin.
Right, so bloody nightmare.
Either way, this task is laid before you.
You're more talkative these days. And I don't know if it's because some things are going faster or you're thinking something.
You are seeming more intriguing than usual. You are providing more insight, more interest. My engagement might come from that.
How many do you follow? Like you follow me around in dreams, in days and nights?
Everyone has their own demons. Some help, some hinder.
Hmm.
What sort do you think of me?
To be honest, for as long as I've known you,
You know me.
well, it's a figure of speech. I don't really know you, you just appear to me. We talk, we debate, you inform me of details. You are intrigued, and I am puzzled. If you want to know what I think of you, I think you want something very precise of me. I think they want something of me. Yet I am not to know until it is time.
You allude to the goddesses.
They are the ones that guide my path.
I can assure you, we are not associated.
Really? And who are you? The angel or the demon on my shoulder?
I am no angel. I am no demon. I am a servant.
Oh, whom?
Same that you serve.
I serve the goddesses.
You serve yourself.
To some extent, yes.
Find the escapee. We will talk more then.
I'll see you in a couple of months then. I doubt this is going to be anytime soon.
Time has a way with things.
Sorry.
Time has a way with things.
Does it exist as a person for you? A
You
living
are
concept.
very imaginative.
I'm asking question because you're giving me questions, like I said. You are interested. I am curious.
I am interested in whether you are capable of achieving what we require. No more, no less.
What is we? Are you talking about you and I? Or are you talking about someone else?
In time. For now, go about your task, or do not. It's your decision.
We'll see how things goes. Not everything is spelled in ink. I might miss it. Might not be aware of it. How can you be so sure I'm going to encounter that creature?
You are perceptive.
I try to be. You have to survive.
And this is why I am confident that your paths will cross.
Did he had one?
But whom do what?
My flame. Did he add one like you?
I do not know.
I see. Fine. I'll do it myself.
As you should. Good night.
Good night. I do not follow blindly, you know that, right?
I would not expect you to.
Good night.
The fog envelops the shadow, and the shadow fades into darkness as you sleep deeply once more. Robo Nezum sees this red-haired gnome frozen, staring in a moment of trepidation, trying to decide flee, to approach, what not to do, what to do. What does Robo Nezum do in this moment? What is Robo Nezum programmed to do?
So his instruction would basically be if there's anything that sets off the alarm or you notice to wake me up.
Okay, and how would Robo Nezum go about?
I'm kind of thinking, not a sort of a full on kick, but a nudge with the foot sort of thing. It's
Okay.
standing there next to me, and it will just literally reach one foot forward and sort of poke me with its toe, sort of thing.
Okay, it does this, and you feel the jabbing of a metal foot in the side of your ribs.
I will sort of jump up and have a look around and see what I notice, which may be less than Robo Nezum.
The moment you jump up, it's quite clear as day. There is this red-haired gnomish girl on the edge of your camp, viewable by the firelight. The moment you jump up and she sees you, no longer this huddled lump of cloth on the floor, but a goblin, her face is startled and she is shocked and taken back. And you see she kind of takes a few steps back and she trips and falls backwards and lands on her back and she kind of shuffles back. Goblin! Goblin! And she kind of just shuffles back and rolls to try and get onto her feet.
I will wave.
You wave?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of just stops moving and as she kind of pushes her head back up against a tree
Trunk.
Words today, struggling. I was very eloquent last week. I'm struggling today. Apologies. Yeah. And she just kind of stares at you quietly.
So roughly how far away is she now if she's backed up a bit?
15 feet.
Okay. Evening.
Evening.
It's kind of late to run around in the woods, even if you can see in the dark. And if you'd have taken a couple more steps, you'd have set off one of our alarms and woken everyone up. And I'm sure Luck gets grumpy in the morning if he gets woken up in the middle of the night.
Grumpy
Luck?
constantly.
Luck, and I will point at the sort of bedroll large person in a thingy, in a blanket.
Oh, she's big.
um. So what are you doing out in the middle of the woods? I'm Knickknack, by the way.
Um, I'm Fiona. I was running away, and then I got lost.
Well, we're on our way to River Point and then on to Irindor. Why were you running away?
Make me an insight check.
Knickknack insight. I rolled a 15, so 14.
Okay. You see visibly along her face a furrowed brow and a distaste. And when you say River Point,
Okay. What's wrong with River Point? Because we were just gonna, well, we figured it was probably the best place to like get to Irindor. Because like when I came with a wizard, and that was a lot faster, and it's a long way.
there's nothing wrong with River Point. It's a lovely place. What's at River Point? Look, I'm sorry. Can I stay here tonight?
Let me just check something about alarm spells because I don't think I can like. So I have no. It's gonna wake everyone up because to get her into camp, she's gonna have to cross an alarm spell, and I can't give her permission because you cast it at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all good with that, but for you to get into our camp, I need you to kind of cross the spell that I set up, and
Start looking across the ground, like.
And it's like it's gonna wake everyone up when you do anyway. So I thought I might wake them up a bit gently and then do that rather than the alarm goes off and they're all like, ah.
Well, can you wake them up?
Yeah,
so that I'm not going to wake them up?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That'd be good. I'd appreciate that.
So I'm gonna cheat on this completely and utterly because I'm gonna get Robo to wake up Ellie, and I'm gonna get Lynx to wake up Luck. So I'm out of the initial kind of.
Misk, you feel two big metal claws wrap around your shoulders as the metal robot Nezum shakes you like a rag doll. Luck, you feel the weight of something sitting on your chest, and you open your eyes and you see a crystalline lynx staring at you in your eyes, like a cat that sits on your chest, waiting to be fed in the early hours of the morning.
Does 11 hit Nezum's AC?
Robo Nezum, no.
Good.
Luck is going.
This is why I got them to do it.
Yeah. Luck is going to see the cat, just frown, just take the cat and goes for a hug and like just go. Trying to go back to sleep, like kidnapping the cat in a hug.
Ellie and Luck, this is Fiona. She wants to stay with us tonight, but she like needs to cross the alarm, and I thought that it was a better way of waking you up than the alarm going off.
Usually, like wake up in an instant. It's mentioning to someone else.
Luck, this is Fiona. Fiona, this is Luck. Ellie, this is Fiona. This is Fiona. This is Ellie. And that's Nezum, and that's Robo Nezum, and that's Lynx.
She gets up. She gets up with all her might.
Hello.
Hi.
What on earth are you doing here?
Yeah.
She got lost.
From where?
It's going to
Won't
sound
come in
really
by the
silly.
fire. It'll just be loud for a little bit.
Sure.
It lasts for 10 seconds when the alarm goes off.
I start doing the up and downy things to get my knife out of Nezum.
I'm close.
She takes a few steps forward and the alarm triggers and you all start to hear
Clang, 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 clang.
Like a cowbell.
Yeah.
Is that only hearable to you?
No,
or
no,
is that
no. I set the audible one. So I
so
have
in the middle of the
one that-
night? There's a loud ringing of bells in the middle of the forest. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So if they cross,
Oh God.
Good to know.
Oh God.
And she's like, oh, immediately.
it'll stop in a bit. It's not. It's just like it keeps us safe because like we have Nezum and Robo Nezum, and they keep an eye on things. But you
Cut
know,
it out now.
it will stop after 10 seconds. It literally is just clang, 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 clang.
He has no control over it
10
once it sets
seconds
off.
of this noise is very long, especially for autistic people.
She stands up. She kind of
Have you seen the
shuffles
size of Misk's
her
ears?
dress and puts the loop back around her shoulder and kind of dusts herself off a little bit and shakes the hair out of her face.
You're a performer. Sorry.
No,
I'm just going to ask what time of night it was. Do I reckon?
we're talking early hours of the morning now. It's probably about 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
I
Okay.
start stoking the fire and I throw a blanket at the gnome.
She grabs the blanket and kind of wraps it around her. Thank you. She kind of sits close to the fire. So I came from River Point. I ran away. This is going to sound really silly and cliche. I'm a runaway bride.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. But I ran a lot further than I wanted to run, and now I'm lost. And I don't know where I'm going, but I don't really want to go back.
Okay.
why did you run away, if I may ask? From a runaway to another one.
I think we're all lost or runaways.
It's not that I don't love them. It's just that there's a lot of pressure.
Family. Yeah.
This has all been arranged for some time to benefit people, and I'm just not sure that I'm ready to be something I don't want to be just yet.
Have you spoke to him about it? I'm sure the boy will be understanding.
Boy, maybe, but she might not be.
She?
Yeah.
Pardon me for assuming.
It's all right.
Sorry.
It's not like I'm being forced into a marriage I don't want to be forced into. I love her, but I just don't. But I'm sure it would have happened eventually anyway. But it's just a lot, very, very soon, very, very quickly, and not because we want to, but because our parents want us to, because of their business deal.
Take her away.
What do you mean?
Take your
Run away
wife.
together, dear.
I know, but well, yeah. I mean, maybe we should have, but that's. I want the deal to happen. It's beneficial for everyone. It's beneficial for River Point. It's beneficial for High Point. It's important for everyone, and
It has to be
It-
important for you.
it is important for me.
No. What I get from what you're saying to me, it is that it's more a marriage of convenience than it is exactly the marriage that you and her and them want.
Well, we do want to get married, but we were hoping to. I don't know. It just got all a bit much. I haven't really
You could always
spoken
have
to
a
her
little
about
one. Little marriage for you and her, and a big one for the family.
it. A lot of preparation has gone into this. It's not like it just suddenly happened. It's been in the works for a very long time. And I've had plenty of opportunity to talk about it, and I just haven't. And then they came and panicked.
Pressure is something, if you're not prepared, that can overcome you.
Especially marriage.
If you are not ready, do not blame yourself for it. It just wasn't the time. And if they truly love you, they will accept that. And they will accept that this marriage wasn't on your both of your terms.
If
I said.
if we don't do it, then well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Nothing is going to happen. Nothing of importance is going to happen. You want to know why?
Mm.
Because those type of things are simply tactics.
It's more about trust.
Hmm.
There's well,
That has nothing to do with trust. It's about money.
no, it is about trust. My father-in-law to be, he well, he's the mayor of Red Point, and I love his daughter Leora. I do. But he's a bit dubious of my father.
Mm.
And my father's intentions for River Point. Have either of you ever been to River Point or High Point before?
Avoidium?
No.
Don't know.
You
Maybe.
roll me a
Went by
d20.
river.
Roll me a d20.
Being a
I'm
long
just going to ask again, even though you might not respond to me, but from where did I came from to end up in Silverfoot?
20.
20.
Yeah, naturally.
Luck, you would have travelled
South.
south along
Sorry?
you You would have travelled south along land. You'd have avoided the river because you know that the river tends to be a distinct port of transportation, and you know that the river would have been watched, and that your time of travelling you would have wanted to be as unwatched as possible. So you would have taken a trip. You would have avoided the river. At some point you would have had to have crossed the river. And you would have done that probably further south of River Point. You'd have had to have crossed the river twice. You'd have crossed the Carthon and the Carthill rather than just the Carth, and gone the long way around until you finally reached Silver Fern.
I have a hard time seeing where I went by, but okay.
I'll open up the map. So,
I have trouble finding the big one.
The big one?
all right, I'll open it up somewhere. There we go. So, there we go. You can see this now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have come south down here. Actually, if I open up the if you've made your way from the Seraphinna River,
Mm-hmm.
at a point that I'm not going to disclose just yet, you'll have come down. You'll have had to have crossed the Seraphinna at one point.
Yeah.
You'd have made your way south,
Mhm.
and then you'd have come down past here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have avoided main crossing here. You would have come across the Carthon, across the Carthill, before doubling back and making your way further north. to
Okay.
Singleton. You took the scenic route.
To avoid the most population dense areas.
Yes.
How long does that travel would have been?
This would have taken you months.
Oof. Okay.
But we're yet to discuss some of the finer details of your travel.
Yeah.
But we will.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the places you'll have been along the way. But I'm not going to get into that tonight because that will take a lot of time.
Later.
Yeah. So,
One of those times where we all come in and just talk lore instead of playing.
yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. So,
Possibly.
yeah, instead of taking up game time, we'll just talk about that later on. But you're all currently about
So I rolled
on
a
the edge
20.
of you're approaching the edge of the forest here before approaching River Point. You rolled a 20. You have been to River, not River Point.
Okay.
You have been to
High
High
Point.
Point. You have
High
been
Point.
to High Point. Yeah.
Okay.
You know High Point to be a gnomish town.
By the way, Luke, on the list of things I can be is a gnome.
Yep. The gnomish town of High Point is up in the hills that border the Great Valley of Aberleth and the Airwood. High up in those hills is High Point. And there is a deep crevasse that goes through High Point, which is the Carth River. And the gnomes of High Point have constructed through their clever intellect and artificial ability mills, water mills, and turbines that generate electricity from the current of the river. And they use that to provide basic power to the town in the way of streetlights and other forms of electricity in their home. It is a very new technology that has been recently developed. By the Gearlock family. And a prominent name that comes to mind is that of Grimmel Gearlock, who is the
Please say
patriarch
that.
of the Gearlock clan.
Grim?
Grimmel, Grimmel, Grimmel
Grimmel
Gearlock
Gearlock.
of the Gearlock clan. And they have had a lot of success in High Point with these water wheels. And their industry. There is a great bridge that crosses the crevasse of which the river flows. And below this bridge are several of these water wheels, which generate power for the town, which is on either bank of the
Oh, the
hillside.
town's like split in half, and there's just a big bridge in
with
the
this
middle.
bridge across, and then the town kind of is built into the hillsides on either side of the river.
Yeah.
Luke,
Yes.
where would Master Ileron have landed us? Getting
To Silverfern, Ileron would have landed you in the air wood when teleporting. Teleportation is not an exact art, especially when it's places that you haven't been to before.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming we landed somewhere close.
Yes. You will have dropped in the airwood and then approached Silverfern from the airwood.
Okay.
But yes, I've lost my track of thought here now. So Fiona mentioned Grimmel, and she asked you whether any of you had been to High Point or River Point before.
Her name is Fiona what?
You don't know.
Okay, no worries.
She just said her name is Fiona.
Spent a little time there, would be Ellie's answer.
Well, my father is Grimmel Gearlock. And he has vested interest in his work at River Point. And they started building. Did you ever see the turbines?
Took a look.
Well,
I was more of a tourist.
the Gearlocks are very proud people, and Grimmel wants his work shared with the world. He wants to bring
Noble endeavour.
this kind of power and infrastructure to all points of Serapis especially. He thinks that we should be able to reach lofty heights of those of the celestial cities without the need of divinity. And this isn't arcana, this is material, this is technology, this is the physical world. This is what we
Machinery.
make of it. Yes.
But you don't need a marriage for that.
Gain the trust of halflings takes a lot more than just coming in with fancy words and promises of electricity. They are an emotional folk. They like to connect on an emotional level before they just let
They
you
want
build
you
whatever
to be
they want.
part of the family.
This is weaponizing sentiment.
No, it's building trust.
I
By
understand.
going too fast. This is
Well-
literally weaponizing, so you can actually gain the trust of someone.
I mean, it's hardly been fast. We've been, well, me and Alora have been involved for 3 years now. But my father's built one turbine in River Point as a gesture for the mills and their farming. But he wants to build more. It's an ideal area where the river splits, and with there having 2 rivers, they're able to generate more power. And having more turbines there opens it up. It's a trade route that goes from the west to the east of Seraphinna. People would see it a lot more than going up to High Point.
Well, the
And it would
things
spread the word, and then he'd be able to spread
your father
his technology across the continent.
made.
I have a question.
Yes, Knickknack?
What's a turbine?
It's like a big wheel that goes in the water, and then the flow of the river causes the wheel to turn.
As far as
Oh,
I
but
understand
Like a
it,
water
The
mill.
wheel, yes, but the wheel itself is on an axis, and this
Um,
axis turns, and it's connected to a motor with lots of interlocking gears.
Knickknack,
And then essentially, after so many turns of this, we use
Darling,
electromagnets to generate
Fiona,
current that
it's
provides electricity
darling,
power.
Fiona,
Sorry,
dear.
I
It's like
get-
the gloves, but bigger.
Okay.
do not
Hold on,
know
one
what
moment.
Fiona,
Gnomes.
we do
she
not know
reaches-
what a motor is.
She reaches down into her dress,
I'll pop
pulls
open.
out.
I'll pop open Knickknack's. I'll pop open Robot Nezum's chest.
One of them.
Well, she reaches down into her dress and pulls out from between her cleavage, essentially like a long kind of pen, and she folds down the little hook thing that goes on the side of it, and it comes down into like a little handle, and she twists it, and as she rotates it and it whirs, you see the top of this pen start to glow like a dim light bulb, and then as she stops, it kind of starts fading.
Knickknack is utterly fascinated.
That magic.
No,
Oh,
it's just
it's gnomes.
copper wire and kinetic energy.
Magic would be easier and faster.
Well, we don't all have magic now, do we?
It's gnomes. I do
How
like
would
gnomes.
you know I'm magic?
I don't know your magic. Your magic?
No.
Well, magic is hard to come by, and especially finding people that want to invest it in small towns like ours. They'll go off to the big cities.
Mm.
So having something like this that we can offer to common folk, well, it changes things. It makes life better.
Does they like it in the docks?
Dear, I know where your father wants you to get married. I know where the mayor wants you to get married. Why do you?
And I love Leo.
If you
And
love
as I
her,
said-
marry her.
Well, we do want to get married at some point, but as I mentioned before, I just got nervous, and it happened all so quickly, and I wasn't sure whether I was doing the right thing, whether I was doing it for us or whether I was doing it for them. But then, the longer I've been in these woods, the longer I've been thinking, aren't they really the same thing?
Fiona, Look at me, please.
And I looked up, big green eyes.
He's kneeling down. What do you want? Without thinking of your parents, without thinking of your father-in-law, without thinking of the towns, what do you want?
I want to be with Leora.
Describe me. How?
I like it in River Point.
Mhm.
And we always discuss essentially setting up our own little kind of. Well, her family own the meadery,
I
and
don't want to hear about a family or anything.
well, no, it's important because she's important and her family is part of her, so it is important.
Mm.
Her family own the meadery, the River Point meadery. Their family is the Mead Glow.
Mead?
Mead Glow is that one? Yeah, it's quite famous. They ship it all over Seraphinna.
I've tried that. It's quite good.
Well, yes. And well, we were hoping maybe one day we could set up the meadery somewhere else, maybe further out east, and take some of the hives and start up another, I don't know what to call it, another hub of the meat glow family somewhere else, other than just River Point, and expand not just the Gearlocks clan with their water mills and their electricity, but mead glow mead too.
He's just thinking about honey now.
Okay. So that's your and hers dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've talked about it. You've talked about this, haven't you?
Me and Laura have both talked about this.
Okay.
Leora, sorry.
Then tell me, except from this very pressed affair of marriage, what's holding you?
Nothing. We have the plans. We had certainly have the funds. It was just that we didn't want to leave our families and go off and do it. I mean, Adis always wanted us to go and do it. He thought it was a brilliant idea. Grimmauld was hoping that us getting married sooner rather than later would help get Adis on side with more of the watermills and the turbines in River Point before we left.
And is it really helping, though? What does the people say?
Well, it's change, isn't it? Some people don't like change.
I think it's cool.
I do like the idea.
I think
Well,
what
things
people are
don't-
not happy with is that they might. You're doing this marriage from an outside perspective. You're doing this marriage because you want to bring your inventions to the city. And some people don't
Well,
like
it's not
that
a
you are
city,
basically
that's just it. It's a
using.
small town, but with those creations, maybe one day it could become a city. I share my father's passion for our work. I really do. And I want to see him succeed. I want to
Why?
see us succeed.
Why must you marry the mayor's daughter to make this go through?
I don't have to. As I said, it was something that was always going to happen. But it helps
Good.
build trust. It helps build that connection. It makes Leora's father less skeptical and more likely to embrace change in the future rather than try and fight it.
Makes sense. Politics
mean-
is complicated.
We always
Believe
aren't.
me.
She's a stubborn one. She scares me. She's a fairy
Fiona,
lady.
I think
but
everyone's aunt is.
Well, maybe. You you haven't met Mirabelle. But
Probably
essentially,
not.
even she
No.
has her concerns for the watermills and what it might do, and if it's all a bit too much change too quickly. But she believes it's the right thing to do.
From where I
Yeah.
am,
I
and
think
from
her
previous
words were-
experience, I think change is better.
Well, that's the thing.
You're a
I
bit
think her
loud.
words were, "Only fools want to stop change." But it doesn't mean I have to like it. I think that's what she said.
And that's perfect.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back, aren't I?
Probably.
I
Or
don't
else
really
your
know what I
father's
was doing or
going
where
to
I
be
was planning on
quite
going anyway.
worried for you.
You owe her at least an explanation to both of your parents.
They're probably all terrified about where I am.
Probably. If they've noticed you missing.
How far
Although
are
they
you?
would have noticed. Sorry?
How far are we from River Point?
At this point, maybe 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Well, 3 days on those horses.
Oh,
How long have you been running for?
3 days. 4 days. 5. It's been a long time.
Okay.
really hard to get
We
you
need to get you
fast
back
there.
home.
Fast.
You figured out how to copy what Elrond did yet? Knickknack?
What?
No. I
You
think I
forget
get
'cause
the hang of some of what he does, but like there's like different levels of complexity. And like making a bit of fire seems like it might be easier than like disintegrating us and moving us across space and time and then reintegrating us back into like
Do
people.
you want help? You know I'm knowledgeable in
What
that.
did you just say, Ileron?
Master Ileron.
Is his teacher?
How do you know about Ileron?
According to magic.
Teacher.
Paul elf looked really old for an elf.
Yeah, he's been around a while.
I really liked the mead. Probably a bit too much.
He's my
Alcoholic.
friend, and we like he lets me in the library to read books and stuff and see what I can come up with.
He was in River Point about a week ago.
He's going back. I got a message saying he's going back to
Erindor.
Erindor.
Well, he stopped at River Point and he was able to. Well, he helped do one of the finishing touches on the first water wheel on his way through.
He's very
We were
clever.
having to wait at least another month before any more metals managed to come down from the hills along the river, but he managed to do some and wood into metal.
Have I ever seen him do anything like that before?
As a transmutation wizard, you have seen him do lots of things like that before.
He's very clever about how things like sort of are and change and do stuff. So I got some bits for like Robo Nezum over there.
Wait, are you? Are you his assistant?
I travel around with him sometimes.
Well, if you're his assistant, he said that he left something for you back at the town.
He did.
And he left a book, something that we had to give you. If
Uh,
you
uh,
were to come by. He
River
seemed
Point.
quite sure that you would.
So we definitely need to go to River Point.
Yeah,
Tell me to pick up the book.
Hmm. I say we start to go now. We had enough sleep as it is.
Do you want breakfast?
No.
She looks up at the starry night sky. I don't know about you, but I'm really tired. I could do with a night's sleep before we start heading back.
Fine.
Okay.
You always this grumpy?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Prove my point in the next sentence.
For as long as we've known her.
And you are just an impudent thief.
Do you have a clue what she just said?
Don't know what that means.
Neither do we.
I don't.
Just smile and nod. That's what we do.
Well, you can have a bed there, and I'll point at my little nest that I've made up. Because while I'm on watch, I might go out hunting some squirrels and things, so I can do breakfast later.
Okie dokie. Fiona huddles down. And it doesn't take long in the firelight for her to quickly go to sleep. A puny thief.
Surely it's puny God.
I thought I had teeth.
No! Thief!
Fiona settles down in front of the fire and falls asleep very, very quickly. Is there anything else that anybody else is doing before returning back to sleep and finishing this long rest?
Me.
I will leave Robo Nezum back on watch. I'll tell it to wake up early if it is, and I'm gonna pop out and see if I can rustle up some breakfast material on my watch.
Okay. Make me a survival check.
Survival, you say?
Or no, let's make it a nature check.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 12 on survival because it was already rolling.
Okay.
Nature. I rolled a 15.
Okay, yeah. You find a decent haul of like wild growing onions and beetroots and other kind of root vegetable kind of growth nearby, as well as some fruits and mushrooms and insects.
Cool.
A few bags of worms and some soil. Yeah. Come back with a relatively
Moss, it gives it a nice bit of like bitterness.
a little bit of a hoard you come back with.
Um,
Right, so you can all complete a long rest. As we move on to the next day of travel, can I have a group survival check, please?
uh, 17 for me.
17. Okay.
15.
15.
That's
Okay.
another one.
A 1. 2 successes and a failure. That's all right. That'll do. You all wake in the morning. You pack up your camp. Remind me, how are we travelling along these two horses again? Because now you've picked up an additional person.
Well, Nezum was with
Nezum kind of
Luck.
clambers back onto the back of a horse and roots himself back on saddle wires.
Knickknack, you don't mind riding in the back while I keep Fiona at the front, would you?
Well, I was thinking I can probably like sort of muster up a little backpacky type. Have you seen that, like, the kid carry backpack
Yeah,
that dads have when they go
A
hiking?
poos.
yeah.
No, it's kind of like a backpack
It's
with
like
a
there's like rods that come off the back of the backpack and it elevates them above their
yeah.
shoulders, kind of thing. And they just kind
Can
of
I
sit in
can
it.
I try and knock something like that together for Robo Nezum?
Um,
Because
To make him
officially I can
mountable.
ride Robo Nezum.
okay. For her to ride Robonism or
No,
for you to ride
I was figuring I could ride Robo Nezum, and then Fiona can ride with Ellie,
Yes.
and then I can spend a lot of time by the side asking them questions about electricity and turbines and things. Because this is a great conversation.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, sure. Make me a check.
Efficiency, a dex, intelligence, or wisdom based one.
So
Or
what tools are you proficient in?
I am proficient in cooks, jewelers, leatherworking, smiths, thieves, and tinkers. So I'm assuming it's
Say this would be some kind of leather working. And yeah, it's a form of leather working and tinkers here to kind of create this ensemble of essentially a heightened saddle.
yeah.
Where are you going to find the equipment for this? The materials?
Um,
What are you using?
well, sort of material wise, I was actually thinking about using because I have lots of various of stuff. So I do have where is it? Um so I have a collection of odds and ends of crafting bits, which I lifted from the guardhouse, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Or I may have lifted from the guard tower, one or the other. I've got some of that.
Yep.
I've got material in the silver fern cloaks because I've been stripping out the
Okay, cool.
silver out of it. I have
So
various cloth.
make me a check then. Make me a check.
What do you want as the stat for that?
Let's say we'll go with intelligence.
No, because I rolled a 1, so I got 8.
Okay. You make a kind of reverse saddle.
It would be quicker to just make a new Nezum.
It would have been.
and
I like Robo-Zoom.
about half a day's travel in, and it starts to just break apart, and you're just like you restrap it and retighten it here and there, and then I think it like at one particular like rather rough part of the journey where you're clambering over large boulders and broken down trees, and it just starts, and there becomes a little bit of more verticality and up and down. One of the straps just completely gives way and snaps, and you fall off of the back of them, causing you to have to then spend the rest of that day until you stop on foot, just slowing the pace down a little bit.
Okay. But
And we
I am
all
literally pumping Fiona for like knowledge on turbines.
that's fine. You spend literally the rest of the day, and Misk, you hear a lot of technological chatter here, and craftsmanship being talked, and words that are just going over your head.
I have a 13 intelligence.
It's
I'm not stupid.
It's engineering talk that you have talking about physics and stuff like that, which like you're like, what? These things exist? What? And yeah, and you have a right old time, Knickknack, having chats with Fiona about the turbines and their implications and how they can be used and the inner workings of how they generate power, how they distribute that power, and how they're trying to work on storing that energy. But currently, they're coming up a little bit short on how to store that energy safely without it causing large combustible explosions, or
Right,
short
crystals.
circuiting everything that they do, without having to lean on Arcana.
I mean, I do have an idea, but this is Jack's knowledge going in.
Exactly.
Because Jack's actually pretty good with this.
Yeah, so essentially they're still trying to figure out how to make a battery, as it were.
You
which
don't even
they
need to make
could-
a battery. You just need to figure out a way to effectively contain kinetic momentum, which is basically what a mainspring is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're trying to store energy in a way where it's not used and then it can be
No, but
used
that's
at one.
literally what a mainspring does.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. You know
It's
more
the-
about it than I do.
Okay, you know the part of the clock of a clock that you wind up? That's the mainspring.
Okay,
It stores you winding it for later and slowly releases the energy.
I see.
I was coming up for a Knickknack idea of you use a motor to pump a big weight up, and when you need the energy, you release the
It's a
big weight,
mainspring.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's a mainspring still.
But
That's why the big clocks have the weights.
They're trying to design essentially that, but on a larger scale that could restore and hold as much energy as the river is producing, which is a
That's
lot of
why
energy.
the big tower clocks have the weights, because it works similar to Knickknack's thing, but never mind. I know too much from being Ray.
No, it's fine. It's
A
okay.
Knickknack question for it is, why do you need to store it? Because rivers don't really stop.
Because, well, that's a good issue. Well, that's a good question, really. I mean, we're trying to
You
think
can't
of
just
other
make
ways
more.
because we're trying to think of ways that energy can be distributed and stored in objects and used in machinery that isn't connected to the main lines of the river. Imagine being able to, as like I've got my little pen here that I can wind up and use as a torch. Imagine if I could have something that I didn't need to wind up, that I could just use as a power source. Or imagine if you could, like for instance, just have a forge wherever you wanted. And you didn't
Crystals.
have to build a big forge and every time and have to wait ages and stoke it and get it up to temperature. Imagine if you could have that raw amount of energy wherever you took it and wherever you wanted to go.
I have a question. Why don't you use crystals?
Crystals are,
That's magic, dear.
Yeah.
it's,
They don't
well,
want to do magic. They're gnomes.
That's-
They don't want to
that-
do the magic.
Those two things are not incompatible. For you telling me, magic is just another mean of energy. If you want to use that energy, and this is some kind of energy from what I understand, this energy technically can become magic, and vice versa. You basically are creating an energy that can convert into anything.
yes and no, but it needs to be able to be wielded and controlled and manipulated by anyone, not just somebody that is arcane abilities and able to manipulate the
You
weave.
don't know abilities to manipulate crystals. You take them, put them in a machine, and they just store up.
If you want to go to Harrowden and convince the people there to let us into their crystal farms upon the peaks of those mountains, then fine. But I do not think they are going to be handing them over any time likely. They are more happy using them as machines of war than they are for
And this is where you don't see big enough, my dear.
creation.
Your little energy here could actually bring together a lot of people.
It could, but try telling that to the big wigs over in Arundel. They don't listen.
Hmm.
That benefits them, they don't
Have
want
a
to
chat
know.
with them
And if
first.
we
Shows them what it can do, and believe me, they will.
the thing is, we don't want to need them to do it. We want to be able to do it and take it to them. If we
No, no,
need
no.
something of theirs to make it work, it's not going to be a benefit.
You have to make it seem like they
Okay.
need you.
How is that any different from the person that digs the iron out of the ground and then makes it into steel that you then make into a machine?
The crystals we're talking about, I mean, do any of you have any particular knowledge on these? I mean, they're not even crystals. They are crystals, but they're not really crystals. It's more of an organic metal. Do any of you have, like,
You mean like silver fern stuff?
yes, but this is more complex. Silver fern is very basic organic metal. It's probably the least
You're calling the
reactive.
gift of the moon goddess basic.
No, I mean,
Divinity. Oh, God, Lord.
In the book of dealing with organic metals, did it cover any others of Durin's?
it did.
I read. So
Because he nicked a book on organic metals.
I
Book on organic
did.
metal.
I did. I may have looked at how to use organic metal. So I will then ask, do you mean things like blah and blah blah, whichever they are called?
Well, I will load it up for you now. Bear with me. And I will.
We have a very clever goblin.
I'm waiting on this to happen. So,
Organic metals.
I like
Right.
how the gnome just went, all it does is glow. That's basic bitch shit. That's funny.
There are 6 different types of organic metal, of specific alloys and different origins and specific properties. You have verdanite,
Sorry?
verdanite, 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 Verdanite,
Yep.
also known as green steel.
It's a sort of something. Sorry, Luke.
Yep,
We met her during the night.
yes, you did.
So
My eyes.
and
Would have
My
glowed,
eyes are
yeah.
glowing.
Yeah, they would have been glowing.
as would have
Ah.
Nezum, as would have
As would have
Roman
Nezum. Yeah. Yeah.
I have
I
one
always
thing
need
to
to remember
say.
the creepy shit about you guys is really fucking off-putting.
Yeah, but also totally looks normal.
So does Knickknack.
Yeah, the one normal looking person there.
It's from a different dimension.
But yes, so you got verdanite, which is green, also known as green steel.
Yep.
Oh, did we lose Joe?
No,
Are you still there? Okay.
just adjusting myself.
So it's verdanite is a greenish plant-like metal that grows alongside ancient trees in enchanted forest. It feeds off ambient magic and draws nutrients from rich soils infused with mystical energies.
Luke, rather than me taking a gazillion notes, could you
Yeah.
post at some
Yeah,
point?
no, I'll send you all this. Don't worry. I'll send
Yeah.
you all this. So I'm just giving you the clip. There's blood iron, also known as the hemalurgy metal, a deep crimson metal found in regions rich with life force. Blood
don't-
iron forms in an underground deposit nourished by ancient sacrifices or where significant amounts of blood have been spilled over
I don't
centuries.
want to know what happens if I go near that.
There is also crystallis, also known as the aurora metal. Crystallis is a shimmering, translucent metal found only in the highest mountain ranges, where it forms in crystalline shape. It is connected to the shifting light of the auroras in the sky and is highly reactive to changes in magical energy. Then there is also ebonbark. Ebonbark steel, also known as darkwood metal. Ebonbark steel is a dark wood-like metal grown from the roots of an ancient petrified trees deep in enchanted forest. It absorbs the ambient darkness and energy from the shadow realm, often found where the Feywild or shadow planes leak into the material plane. And then you've got stellar flare, also known as starfire metal. Stellar flare is a radiant metal that forms in craters left by falling stars. It glows faintly with the light of a distant sun and possesses a constantly shifting rainbow-like sheen.
In this list, where does Silverfern silver come into?
Silverfern is the sixth metal, where you have Silverfern mentioned as well. Which
Yeah.
for some reason I haven't got in this document, I've got in another document.
I've seen this
Inventions.
last metal a lot.
You would have seen you'll have seen Crystallis, and you will have seen Silverfern, and that's it.
Oh, that begs the question though. My scythe, what is it made of?
Oh, you're just normal metal.
Okay.
So these are organic metals that have been known to have been dealt with in centuries since the Ascension War. There is descriptions in the book about their properties and their cultivation methods.
Does the blood
The
iron have any
cultivation
connection to
method-
the iron that sets me off?
Well, you wouldn't know, you don't have the book.
Okay.
But
No, he just goes
essentially-
blood iron, and then I go.
But essentially, yeah, it gives you a brief description on cultivation. It doesn't go into the depths and in detail of how it's cultivated. It just says that there's certain methods that are used to cultivate it and why.
That's the preface on how to use it, because that was what the book was mainly about, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the book was more about the crafting and how to use certain metals. And there was a lot more information on certain metals than others. Silverfern metal was probably the most malleable and easy. And that's saying a lot, considering that it said that Silverfern metal was complex and difficult to use, and that once melted down, once it had set, like you would then have to remelt it down completely to get it to change in anything. If you
You couldn't reheat and tweak it.
you couldn't reheat and tweak, it would have to be completely destroyed and then reshaped. So for something like that to be classed as the most simple of organic metals to work with, leads a lot onto the details and difficulties of other organic metals. But yeah, it is. It jogs your memory. You flip through the book and you suddenly are just like, oh yeah, all these different types of metals. There are some there that, like as you start shouting out with a random metal,
Random names.
Fiona is just like, oh, I've never heard of that one. Oh, what's that? And then she's just like, oh, looking at the book with you, and then you start reading through the book and going over different notes together. And I will send you this later on.
Awesome. Thank you.
But yeah, just a document on organic metals.
Mythologist in my mind just screaming because I want this, I need this.
Just another one of those things where, like, I've
Um,
got prayer books,
so-
I've got lists of metallurgy.
so see, the notes when they started with the top bit that said need to get these.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
The artificer goes.
No, the artificer in me goes, alloy.
What happens
Yeah.
if you
I mean,
get the
you
The
want
blood
to
iron,
start
metallurgist
mix it
and the
with the...
mechanic here need all of them. I want them. Give me.
I'll read you one in full. Which one do you want to read? Actually, I'll
Wait,
tell you what.
not now.
You can roll a dice. Roll me a d6,
A
Oh
D,
God.
and I'll read you one in full.
a D6, yeah?
Yeah.
6.
Silver phone.
Oh, fucking, it's the one I don't have open. Roll again.
5.
5. Okay. Stellar flare. Starfire metal. Stellar flare is a radiant metal that forms in craters left by falling stars. It glows faintly with the light of distant sun and possesses constantly shifting rainbow-like sheen. Properties. Stellar flare is highly reactive to celestial magic and can be used to forge weapons that deal radiant damage. Armor made from it provides protection against dark magic and is almost weightless, allowing greater mobility. Stellar flare also has an affinity for divine spells, amplifying their magic effects when channeled through it. Cultivation. Stellar flare can only be found in meteor craters or areas where celestial events have taken place. It grows slowly as it absorbs the celestial energies surrounding it. Cultivation involves maintaining areas exposed to starfall with certain arcane rituals performed to encourage further growth.
So it just hits, and then you just keep feeding it and making it get bigger.
Essentially.
Oh, that's cool. Which makes me more and more iffy about blood iron and what you got to do to make that thing more.
Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Get me like
Um,
half a dozen sheep. I need a new sword.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Going back into lore rambling again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
you have
know,
that
but
book.
it's cool.
I think about like seeing Minsk getting literally like maybe smoke coming out of his ears. There he is. Luck would be like, just look at him like, you okay there?
The clever ones are talking.
Well, get used to it.
Seeing like you start to see like the human ears twitching.
Do you need me to scratch that?
No. Don't bring attention to it. It only makes it worse.
We need to get you clothes.
I'm wearing clothes.
Have
Yeah.
you tried like autonomators, whatever they're called?
Automatons.
That's the one.
Automata, I think is what he's trying to say.
He's like,
Backwards.
Robo Nezum here never gets tired. So your little windy uppy thing, you could probably give him a bigger one and he could just whir on that all day.
Do you want me to talk to you so you can tune out the two others?
No,
I
I
mean-
find it interesting.
Like she's looking at Robonism and she's like, don't get me wrong, I am
We
fascinated
don't
about
have a clue how to build that.
your creation, but at the same time, you're anthropomorphizing it too much. We're not trying to create things to replace us. We're trying to create things to make life better for simple folk.
Yeah, but I was thinking of like a simple one that just sits there twiddling the handle on your little lighty thing, but the bigger version.
But that would be energy trying to create energy. So surely that's just a feedback loop. The whole point of the rivers is that that's continuous.
Yes, but
Not
they
True,
are
you could just be
energy.
replacing the power of the river with the power of a giant hand.
Yes, but the giant hand needs to be powered by something else.
God, how do we pair in the Zoom?
You
Just
don't
has a
My
moment. How
question-
the fuck does that thing fuel?
My question entirely.
When we get to camp, I'll show you. I'll try and explain it all.
I
Do
have
we
a
throw
feeling
coal
it's
in this thing?
something to do with Arcana, but I am still interested.
I just like the idea that Nezum, like, she thinks it's Arcana, and he opens the back, and it's just a bunch of coal.
There's some cinderings of some scrolls that were burnt the night before. Anyway,
Nah, it's just fueled by coal.
you travel onward.
Mm.
And the sun starts to dim in the sky. The tree coverage is starting to thin. Trees are becoming more sparse as the dense forest is starting to become a little bit more open. And you feel like you are making your way to the edge of the airwood. And it is starting to get late. And you stop and you start setting up camp once more for the evening. Are we beginning the same process?
Yeah.
Seems like we have a bit of a routine at this point.
Okay, we crack on with the routine. We do some watches. I'm not going to make you guys roll because you've got Robo Nezum and you've got Real Nezum who will be watching also.
Well, we'll
I
have
mean, it
the
doesn't need
Zoom
to sleep.
Zoom, but Robo Nezum tonight. So I'm going to set up the alarm spells like I do normally.
Yep.
And then I'm going to disassemble Robo Nezum so I can show Fiona how the Robo Nezum goes together. So we won't have Robo Nezum tonight because I have to put it back in together in the morning.
Okay. The night continues. You settle down and you will continue with your next long rest without issue.
I think just before sleeping, Luck is going to draw in one of her notebooks that she has brought from her house.
The what?
From my old house. In Silverstone.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick doodle before going to bed and just.
I'm just watching the two short people have a full-on moment.
Ellie, come to sleep.
But
Let them have that fun. He gets to
it's
take out his
fascinating.
energy. I know, but he gets to take out his energy on someone that is just as fascinating as him. And not on us.
I know, but they grow up so fast.
I know, right? Come to sleep.
Just up against a tree.
And take something to cover yourself. It's going to be cold.
So,
Throw a blanket over them.
the next night goes by. At this point, we are on our fourth day of travel.
Mm.
What are we eating, folks? Did you pack enough supplies before the travel? I believe so.
I had
Yeah.
a bunch of rations from
You went and got a load of stuff
materials.
from the barracks, didn't you? Okay.
Well, I've
Knickknack, are
been
you
supplementing.
cooking for everyone daily?
I'll be cooking, so if people want to eat the food or not,
That's
I will
fine.
be
I'm
making.
not going to be making you doing any checks. I feel like Knickknack has kind of got into the idea of what people like and don't like. at
What
the
is
moment.
edible to most species?
Yeah.
You realise that the worms and insects weren't a big fan of them, so you managed to keep more for
No,
you.
no. So you just mush them up and make them a paste.
Made like a meaty stock.
I mean, if they weren't being incognito, Misk would totally eat a cricket.
Yeah. I mean, they taste fine. You just,
Just-
as long as they're. So I think it's more Knickknack will come to the realization as long as it's not recognizable as that, they're okay with it.
Whatever, if you put it in a sausage and it tastes like a sausage, nobody's going to question it.
I know there's a difference, isn't there? Miss could totally eat a cricket, but we have company.
So, next day's travel. Another survival check for me all, please.
Sorry?
Another
Survival.
survival check
Survival.
for me, please.
Oh boy.
11.
I'm supposed to be good at those. Oh, 24.
And I was completely middle of the road, 10.
Okay. So 1 success.
What do you mean 1?
1 success.
Okay.
You begin to continue.
We didn't
As
do
you
too
travel, you make your way through. You feel more humidity on this part of the forest. The air is becoming heavier, there is more moisture. Even for this time of year now in leaf glide and where the day is meant to be getting cooler, as you travel further east, the temperature is still maintaining that of what is warmer. One of the horses is suddenly spooked up ahead and is rearing up and is like doesn't really want to continue. And it's the
50-50
horse.
chance. Whose is it?
It's the one carrying Ellie and Fiona.
Dear. Tronk.
Going on?
The horse doesn't like it.
Where?
Whatever's forwards.
I'm gonna send Lynx out to scout. So she can fly off and do a remote view. I will have reinstated the red and flashy lights, the red and blue flashy lights, purely because I don't need the talking book anymore. So that will have become inert.
You send Lynx ahead. Look. What's Lynx passive perception?
14, I believe.
Okay.
I'll just double check.
Do you want me to do they roll their own perception check or do you roll it for them?
I'm quite happy for you to roll.
No, you roll the perception check for them. I just wondered, do they
their
use
perception is
your
+4, yeah.
+4.
He's
Okay.
wondering if they have their own stats through to
Yeah, they
version of you.
Whether it's an extension of yourself or not.
No,
Okay,
Lynx
they have
has
their own.
So this +4. No, Lynx is going the wrong direction. I rolled a 2, so 6 in total.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Lynx is going the right direction, but
Just doesn't notice.
is continuing to scan around. What are we doing, folks? Are we continuing forward or not?
I'm waiting to see if the red and blue flashing lights turn off.
Turn on.
No.
That's how
Continue.
good.
No, I mean literally just wink out of existence. And I'm like, got eaten. Don't go that way.
I am.
We're all
Going
just
to-
staring at it and hoping that Lynx comes back. I believe is what the
I'm
plan
going
is.
to get down of my oars. Give it to Knickknack because I think you're with me.
No, you've got thingy. I'm on.
The only person with you is a tree.
Just give it to Knickknack for the time being, and I'm going to carefully see what's going on.
Okay. You head up ahead.
You see Lynx repeatedly headbutting a tree.
You walk ahead for about 60 feet.
60. Oh my god.
Yeah. And you continue along the path ahead. And make me a perception check.
Okay. My passive doesn't pick up anything?
Well, you're actively searching here, so
That's not bad. It's a 22.
22. Okay. You continue walking ahead. And something catches your eye, glistens a little bit, off on the side of the road, over some rocks. And you head over and you go over to the rocks and you clamber up on one of them. And it's almost as if the rock itself is shimmering a little bit,
Hmm.
and you touch it and it's soft and flaky. It breaks away at your hand, almost like dead skin.
Okay.
And you look further on and it just continues.
Is this the shed of a snake?
It looks like it.
Oh boy. Giant snake?
It looks big.
Fucking big.
Okay.
You thought it was a rock.
She's going to look at Link, saying, Link, go back. And she starts to slowly, ever so slowly, go back to a horse and the others.
I don't think I need to roll insight to know it's a bad idea when I see her face.
Yeah, she has a very closed face right now.
Oh, fuck face.
So, we may have a giant snake up ahead.
Okay. May?
I'm not sure what it is. It's just big. And it sheds. So, we're going to go ever so slowly, looking around and trying to avoid the area where it could be. No one's panicking, no one is shouting, no one is making too much sound or vibration.
I would like to try and steal some of this next skin, please.
What?
Oh, yeah, forget it. I was going to whisper something, but I realised, online. I would like to steal some of the snake shed, please.
You have to go 60 feet away.
Well, aren't we going that direction?
Trying to avoid that direction.
Oh, okay.
What are we doing?
Well, if it's not in its skin, how long ago did it do that? Can I have a look?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if leatherworking might actually give me an idea of the age of the snaky skin.
Okay. Yeah. Make me an H check.
Luke,
Yes.
you know when you watch the horse races and they're all on top of the horses?
Yeah.
I am currently in that position. Getting feckin' ready
Yeah.
to just dash. Get the feck out of here.
Okay.
A 14 from me on nature.
14. It's relatively intact. And because it's intact, it's not weathered. Which means it's probably been here relatively recently.
It's
Within the
hungry.
last 2 days.
Okay.
Snakes are always hungry after they shed.
I know.
I've kept snakes.
I
This
know.
isn't good.
No, it's not.
They get real hungry after they shed.
What sort of looking at the skin? I mean, are we talking
Big
10
enough to
foot,
eat you.
20 foot, 100 foot? I'm not expecting the exact size, but you can tell the difference between a 10 foot's worth of snake skin and 100 foot's worth of snake skin.
Like, what's the diameter? Am I looking at a bin bag or like a carrier bag?
Hold on, let me load up the thing.
Why did it have to be a giant snake?
I mean, there's the stat block giant snake and there's just big things that shed.
True, but
You could probably take a giant snake.
to be fair, lizards do shed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which one's worse.
As you look at the skin,
Everything.
the skin of this creature
Oh god.
best guess is about 30 feet long.
Big enough to eat a knickknack.
The 10-foot snake was big enough to eat a knickknack. I'm pretty sure just a boa,
Big enough to eat all of us.
boa could eat knickknack.
I don't know. I can get
He's
bigger.
not very big.
Just
Um,
max size, please.
What I have? Do you want me? So we think there's you. You want to be? Do you want me to set like links going that way with an alarm, and then he can come round, and we can go that way? So the snaky thing can try and catch. It's like 30 foot long, and they don't stand upright. So links can fly, but can make lots of noise and be a distraction. And
How easy is it for you to remake a lynx?
I just need a gem. I can do it in the morning.
How many gems do you have? How many times can you make a little cat?
Do you really want the answer of that question?
Kind of, yeah. I don't want him wasting it.
Well, it wasn't really my diamond that links came from, so it's not a great loss.
That's the point. If it's not your gems, you're wasting. I don't think it matters.
If I haven't got a gem, I need to find something else to like make them from. So I just found a cute little cat statue and like thought that would be cool if it moved around and did stuff. So I did.
Okay.
Crystal cat statue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he literally found like a diamond carved into a cat and then went, that'll do. Life.
Absolutely, that's exactly what they did.
He found a diamond carved into a cat and then brought
I
it
also
Boys.
love the fact
and then went.
that when I had to infuse it, it said pick a gem, so I did, and because of the picture I got for it, I was like, yeah, he's sort of a nice diamondy clear thingy. So I picked a diamond.
Right.
So my inventory actually has a diamond worth 5,000 gold.
Right. Yeah, ladies.
He actually only has to be 100 gold worth of gemstone, but you know,
Yeah.
they only give you so much options to pick with gemstones.
Yes. So, but anyway, but like links can probably be quite distracting because I can get links to like make noise and things and flashlights and things and fly.
Can you choose what the alarm noise is?
Well, it's kind of like the thing I did with like recording Elaine.
I mean, you could always just make a bunch of food noise and then we just head the opposite direction.
That's basically what I'm thinking, and links can do a big loop and come back and meet us over there.
Not a bad idea.
How
All
about we
for-
put that into motion?
Yeah,
Because the longer we wait,
the more likely we're going to be food.
I would
exactly.
like to infuse the little rock of links with the where's the thingy? Magical tinkering. Do you know if snakes like smells? I can make it smell.
Large rodent if it's a snake.
Mm.
I like snakes.
I can continue. The object can continuously emit the choice of odor or non-verbal sound, winds, wave, chirping, or the like.
Bunnies.
What
Try bunny sounds.
what do bunnies sound like? Is
What's
that an
that?
experiment to work out what bunnies sound like? They really make lots of noise.
They do
I'm pretty
make
sure
noise.
they're about 6 foot tall. They say "What's up, Doc?" and they run real quick.
Crunching carrots, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The fact
only bunnies do make a lot of noise.
They genuinely do. They gnaw on everything.
Yeah.
Well, the only noise I can think of is when they're at their funny little water bottle things, but that's not going to be a thing in D&D, is it? With the little floating ball.
Have you ever heard a bunny scream? That's quite something.
No.
I have.
You wouldn't
Um,
guess!
Several situations.
This small little thing doesn't make that much noise.
um,
Baffles me. It's so cute.
so okay, I can basically give 5 magic tinkerings to links. So it's going to be the red and blue flashy lights, a sort of a chirping, repeating, quite low noise, the smell of like bunny stew, and well, we'll put in some hisses as well because I'm trying to attract a snake. So yeah, and then I'm going to be like, head off that way, and if you get chased by a big snake, fly ahead, keep flying ahead of it, and then do a big loop, and you're going to meet us over on that hill over there, type thing. Does that make sense?
So you're using it to try and lure the snake.
I'm going to try and lure the snake that away while we go that away.
They're using Lynx as bait.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if Lynx survives, there's a rendezvous point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the sound is only hearable 10 feet away. Oh, the chosen phenomenon. So the smells, the sounds and things are perceivable from 10 feet away. So Lynx is going to have to fly relatively low to do so. But 10 foot
All
down,
right.
10 foot up in the air is not too bad.
It's like a 20-foot radius. If he was the center.
No, 10 foot 10 foot radius, 20-foot diameter.
Yeah. Thank you.
But it's a reasonable thing, and yeah, Lynx is going to fly off that away, and we're going to head this way.
Okay. You make your way ahead.
I put Fiona in front of me rather than behind me to avoid any falling off issues.
Do you want any
Okay.
weapons, Fiona? Just in case a big snake does try to eat us all.
I mean, I don't really know how to use it.
I hand her a big knife.
Thank you.
Pointy end in the thing that bites you.
Okay. I'll try if it comes to that.
We're going to try our best not to. Plus,
Hopefully
I'm
not.
usually the archer, so best to stay with me.
So you like to stay as far away from it as possible then.
And shoot it full of arrows.
Okay, I'll stay with you then.
So I'm saying best stay with me because I'm just going to stay as far away as possible and shoot it full of arrows.
Okay. So you carry on. You walk.
I would like to
more
watch over my
slowly.
shoulder and see how the flash of lights of Lynx gets on.
It just winks.
And you slowly see the flashing lights go off further and further away into the trees. There's, because of the high humidity here, there is like a low hanging in this part of the forest. And you carry on through the trees. And you go on for about a good hour. And you start to see the flashing lights return. And they start making their way back until they meet back up with you. Like you said, like on a rendezvous. You went off round, you carried on, and about an hour later you reconvene.
There's this big loud hissing noise coming from behind it.
Hopefully not.
I've collected all the snakes in the area and led them here.
Oh God.
Whoops.
Make me a perception check.
Oh.
Fuck.
Can I?
17. This is like the most aware Knickknack's ever been.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going to make one too because
15.
13.
13, 15, and 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we hear hissing?
Yes. Within 10 foot of links, yes.
No,
No.
no.
Good.
Okay.
You stare
It's
off into the
rattling
trees
noise.
in the myth from where Link
It's the
returned,
rattle.
and you see nothing.
Going
Um,
to continue, but
See
staying.
the myth hang throughout the trees. You see the undergrowth. You see birds fluttering from tree to tree. If you stare long enough, you might see the odd rabbit, a deer rush and disappear into another bush. You see nothing that resembles a 30-foot long giant.
But into Fiona's ear. Went well, I suppose. At least for now.
Don't jinx it.
There are lots of giant snakes around this part.
Don't know.
Right. How about we move along fast?
Okay. Just does the.
Yeah.
Fuck stealthy. Run.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we proceeding, folks?
What she just said. She said fast. I'm telling the horse to go quickly.
Getting away from the area.
Leaving this place.
So are we dashing or are we
Yeah.
going slow? Like we're dashing
Yeah.
Yeah.
on horseback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
the
stuck Fiona
rubber.
in front so she can't fall off the back.
Okay.
Effectively, I'm going as fast as our slowest member can leg it.
That's
Okay.
zoom at 40 feet.
So we don't leave
As
Knickknack
you
behind.
whip the saddles and you encourage the horses to break off into its sprint.
Which I don't think it takes that much convincing because of the fact the horses also smell snake.
One of the horses cries out in pain.
50-50 chance. Who's getting it?
What do
As
you
you
think?
find the horse that Luck is on, as it tried to maneuver forward, it lurches forward but doesn't get very far as its leg, as you look down, is wrapped around. You see a large, thick tail of a snake wrapped around the leg of one of the horse. And I'd like you all to roll initiative, please.
Fuck's sake.
It rolled a natural 20 on its stealth check when you were rolling for perception. I'm terribly sorry, folks.
Oh boy. 13.
1.
Oh.
11 for me and the gang.
Would
yeah.
Nezum wake up to say this?
Mm-mm.
Oh dear.
Well, it's had
Not
its
without-
episode.
Not without a PC.
Sorry, what did I heard? I heard a 13.
1.
Well, you actually
Well.
got 4 though, didn't you?
Yeah, 4.
And I got an 11.
But he does a weird rule with 1s, so to 1, I just say 1.
Oh, okay.
That's right. For initiative, it's good to know though because of
Oh,
other ones.
okay.
So Luck was a 13.
Should I roll for Fiona?
Knickknack
11.
is Fiona.
Who's first?
Not us.
Yeah.
Luck. You're up first.
Oh, okay.
Try not to kill the
Um,
horse.
You whip the reins, and immediately as it lurches, you're like, "Oh shit!" And you look down, and you see wrapped around the leg, the hind leg of one of the horse you are currently riding, is a thick, long, giant constrictor snake tail, and you see it trailing behind and rearing up, and you see the piercing eyes and dripping fangs of a huge snake.
Okay.
Yeah. Big old scaly fucker.
Yeah. How far away is he?
He's attached to your horse.
No, but like the head of the snake.
The tail is wrapped around the horse. The snake itself is 30 feet long. You can attack any part of that snake, really. The head of the snake, let's say, is about 15 feet away, with it being curved and then arched up and then pointing down. I'd say it's about 20 feet up and about 15 feet away.
Hmm. Okay. Would you stop? I'm going to play with one of my new spells. I am going to cast near the head of the snake. Dust Devil.
Dust Devil.
Yeah.
Please
Basically,
explain to me.
it's you choose an unoccupied 5-foot cube of hair that you can see within range. It's 60 feet in range.
Mhm.
An elemental force that resemble a dust devil appear in the cube and last for the spell's duration. It lasts for 1 minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the dust devil must make a strength saving throw. On a fail save, the creature takes 1d8 bludgeoning damage and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. As a bonus action, you can move the Dust Devil up to 30 feet in any direction. If the Dust Devil moves over the sand, dust, loose dirt, or any small gravel, it sucks up the material and forms a 10-foot radius cloud of debris around itself that lasts until the start of its next turn. The cloud heavily obscures the area. So, in the area near the stake, DM, is it?
Is it sufficiently dusty?
Yeah, say it like that.
To kick up a bunch of shit.
It's leaf fall. The winter,
What?
It's leaf glide. The month is leaf glide. It's the beginning of autumn. Leaves are
Probably.
falling from the trees.
Yeah.
So it's effectively heavily obscured.
Yeah. So the snake right now has a small tornado right in its face.
She summoned a small tornado on its head.
Yeah. 10
I
yeah,
could
10
be a
foot
rules
radius.
lawyer here at this point
Who cares?
because a creature is a huge beast, and a huge beast takes up so much space. So even within 5 feet of its face, technically the space would be occupied. However, I'm not that much of a dick, and I'm going to allow this regardless. So leaves burst up in front of the face of this snake, and it's got to make a strength saving throw. Is that correct?
If it ends its turn, yeah.
In the area.
In the area.
If it ends its next turn, and it
Yeah. So,
Okay.
as my bonus action, though, I am going. Where is it? Well, my sorcery boots. Oh, there you go. I'm just going to do a quick spell, and I am to. Did I check out this? I did check out. I am going to do a sorceress burst. which I am going to use as damage. Ice damage.
Change it from bludgeoning to ice.
Hmm?
Thinking out loud. Ignore me.
It's fine.
I should-
And I have to make an attack roll for it. So, cold roll. Does a 23 hit?
23 hit.
Okay. It takes 7 cold damage.
Takes 7 cold damage.
I'm casting specifically also on the tail, so in hope to make it recoil. Snake usually don't really like when it's cold.
Well, they're cold-blooded.
Yeah, but they don't really like cold.
They don't like being cold. No, they
Yeah.
are cold-blooded creatures.
They do
So they
prefer
don't
the
react
warmth.
to the cold in the way that we do, but they do prefer warmth. Yeah. It's already grappling the horse.
Hmm.
A bunch of stuff has been shoved in its face and its tail went, ow.
Okay, that's fine. Well, it's a good job. The snake is up next, isn't it?
God,
Its
you're very
tail-
far away at some time with your mic.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes you sound very far away.
Well, I've turned the volume up on this thing. Maybe I just need a new headset.
Yeah.
The snake is up next.
Shit. Zoom.
You hit
I
it with
love
cold
you.
damage, and the snake heightens as it grapples the creature. These are riding horses.
Mhm.
The horse needs to make a
Athletics check.
athletics or an acrobatics check.
Gonna be athletics for a horse, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not proficient in
Don't know.
either anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't believe.
I don't know.
No,
Who's
the horse is not proficient in anything. So, does somebody want to roll me a strength saving throw then, or a dexterity saving throw?
How much do they have
I'm
in
just
both?
looking it up.
So if you do a strength saving throw, it's a +3. If you do a dexterity saving throw, it's +1.
Yeah.
So let's go with this thing. So it's a +3 for this
Okay.
horse to try and escape. I'll tell you what
yeah.
the DC is in a second.
I try. No.
What was
No.
it?
I rolled it. It's a 3 plus 3. That's still a 6.
The horse remains grappled by the snake. The constrictor constrict on the horse's leg.
Oh.
2d8
Oh, that
plus
could kill that horse.
bludgeoning damage. It could kill the horse.
A horse has an average of 13, apparently.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
5 plus 1.
Oh, so the horse
Okay,
might live.
that's
The horse
all.
might live.
10 points of bludgeoning damage as the snake
Celia, save your horse.
crushes the leg of this horse and it cries out in pain and is shaking around. Luck, can you? I'm not gonna make a throw from Nezum at this point, but can Luck make me a? We're going to say strength saving throw to remain mounted on this horse as it is bucking wildly.
Why is strength?
I would have assumed Dex, to be honest, for balance.
Well,
Yeah.
dexterity is kind of dodging, acrobatics, nimbleness.
I was
Strength is
using it
trying
as
to
balancing.
hold on and like maintain, or like holding on to the horse. I think is more strength than it is Balance would be if you're standing on it. I think when you're trying to like hold on to it, it's strength. So it's a strength saving throw, please.
I cannot promise you a miracle. I can promise you a miracle. That's 18.
18. You
You're an
remain
angel.
mounted upon
Shut up.
this horse for now.
She
Um,
doesn't know that.
You need
and
to
that's
have more chats with
the
me.
snake go.
Okay.
Next up, we have Knickknack.
Okay, I have a cunning plan. It's all good. So, I would like
did
to-
it roll its saving throw? The snake.
Oh no, it does. It needs to roll its saving throw.
And then maybe get launched 10 feet away.
What was the saving throw? Strength. 12 plus for a snake. Plus 4. 16.
What's your spell save DC? Look.
probably not that.
Oh, but let me hope. So, Leah,
What?
save yourself.
What's your spell save DC?
Sorry.
We can't continue without you.
It's 15.
Oh,
Ah, bollocks. So close.
Takes half damage.
close.
So, what's your damage of your Dust Devil?
So roll your death devil damage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We were
Half
hoping
damage.
that it would get launched, but it didn't.
Yeah. So half as much. Yes.
Yep, half as much.
It's not bad. It was a 7, so I take it's
Three.
a 2, 3, 3,
Three.
3. 3 damage. Bludgeoning damage, by the way.
That's right.
Okay, so for Knickknack,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hop off of Robo Nezum and I'm going to run over to the horse, Luck's horse, and I'm going to put my hand in my little pouch of healing grease because this is where the cunning plan is. I'm going to rub some healing grease on the horse's leg, hopefully making it snippy when it tries to escape. So I will cast Cure Wounds on the horse. So it can have 6 hit points back,
Oh, nice.
and it should have a greasy leg. And as a bonus action, I'm going to be like, go get it, Robo Nezum!
Hang.
And
Bite that fucker.
Robo Nezum will do a force-empowered rend. Oh, which is my spell save DC thing, isn't it?
Strong little fuckers.
It's the same as Shocking Grasp, so I will roll that for the attack roll. And I'm guessing an 11 probably will miss.
Does, I'm afraid.
And that will be my go. So I will heal the horse and try and make it slippy. And Robo Nezum runs up and tries to bite a snake and fails.
Yeah.
Okay. It is now Fiona's go. Fiona is going to hold her action. So it is now Mist's go.
I have. It's definitely within 5 feet of some fucker.
The horse, Luck,
The
and
horse.
Nezum
Look.
and Knickknack. Yes.
Yeah. So I look at Fiona and go, keep a hold of the reins, would you? And I put my feet on the horse and I turn so I'm facing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actively back to the head, so I'm facing the snake.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to get a bow shot off at the snake.
Right now, the snake doesn't see any of us. He's just.
Oh, out of
Fuck!
interest. Would if it's blinded, does that not give us advantage to hit it?
It doesn't matter.
No, it's not like darkness.
I rolled terribly anyway.
I thought blinded automatically got
if the area is heavily obscured, it would mean that you'd have disadvantage on hitting its head, at least, because this is only 5 feet of an area, not the whole. It's only 5 feet of an area that's
No, it's
heavily
10
obscured, is it?
feet. It's 10
10
feet
feet.
radius.
Okay, well, it's a 30-foot long snake. You're covering a small bit of it.
Yeah, I'm covering his face.
Okay. Yeah, so it can't really see you, but you can fucking see it. Like massive, a huge
I
creature.
rolled terribly anyway.
Are we going to have one of those sort of combats where none of us can actually roll to hit?
Seems like it.
What did you roll?
But a 5 and a 10. I rolled terribly.
Really? That's
Yeah,
low for you.
terribly.
Okay. Back to luck.
Back with me. Okay. Sure. Damn. There might be rocks on the road, so I might just go.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh.
Bonus action, throw a knife.
Okay.
Roll. Why won't you do it? Okay, everything's blasted crashed on me.
It's appearing. Oh, that's an 8.
It's an 8.
8 plus
8 plus
5.
5,
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's 13.
13.
13 hit.
Ah!
So you get your sneak attack.
I know, but D&D Beyond isn't working.
Uh,
Does he get a sneak attack?
Yep. Where
mean,
there's
as
a
long as
lot of
there's someone
combat
within
within
5 feet of it.
5 feet.
Yes, there is.
There's a bunch of things within 5 feet of it, and it's gigantic.
Anyone want snake for dinner tonight?
It's chewy.
Not how Knickknack like cooks it.
It's chewy.
Sorry, guys.
It's cool. Oh, there you go.
11. 11 piercing.
11 piercing damage.
And I gave Fiona the reins.
Yep. Luck.
Okay. Would you say I would be it would be easy for me to slide down the horse?
You can jump off the horse if you want, yeah.
Okay. I am going to slide down. Try to get sorry, I have to check the radius of the thing that I want to use. Okay, no, it's fine. I'm just going to get down. And I am going to use as my bonus action my celestial revelation. More precisely, I am going to use again my necrotic shroud. So the banshee's back. The banshee's
Scare the
back.
shit out of that snake.
Yeah, basically. I am going to shoot another sorcerer burst, still called, but at the head of the snake, trying to make it recoil a tiny bit. Let's roll. Dirty 20. So it's going to take It's 1 core damage and 2 necrotic damage. I am going to take.
Okay. You hear a large hiss as the snake whips its head back.
Does it let go of the horse?
No.
Okay. That's my turn. Oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. Hold on. I have to roll for necrotic shroud. So yeah. I'm going to go mostly within 10 feet of it. So can you roll me a charisma saving throw, please?
Charisma saving throw.
Yep.
How charismatic is a snake?
Natural 16 minus 4. So 12.
Yeah, no, the DC is 15.
Yep,
So
that's a
it's
fail.
frightened.
It's frightened.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Magic angel powers say snake scared.
Okay. So if the snake is scared, oh gosh, trying to remember the frightened condition now.
So while you have the frightened condition, you have
You have to have to use my movements to move as far away
nope,
as possible.
nope. So you are a disadvantage as long as you can see the thing that frightened you and you can't willingly approach it.
Yeah.
Can't willingly approach, but I have disadvantage on it as long as I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Hey, baby.
It's turn undead that makes you. It's a frightened
Yes, that's
make you
a
feat,
different one.
but frightened just means you're at disadvantage and you can't get closer.
Okay. Right. So the snake is frightened. Its eyes wildly glare, swings its head around. You just see a mass of scales and shadow flinging around in a heavily obscured area. Next up is the snake, and it is going to.
Leg it.
I'd like to see the snake leg it, unless it's using the horse's leg, which would be bad.
Knickknack. Roll me
Yeah.
a d20.
The D20.
Oh, God.
Odds. It lets go of the horse. Evens, it constricts on the horse. This is going
No.
to be a fight or flight roll,
I rolled a 6, so evens.
so it constricts the horse.
No.
But I fixed the horse, and
Little
hopefully
bit.
the horse can try and escape because it's now greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the horse doesn't have a lot of hit points.
I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to roll the hit first, even though it's already.
Oh, Robo Nezum flick oh, it's already at disadvantage, isn't it?
It hits, so yeah, it's already.
But did you roll at disadvantage?
Yes, but it hits
Okay.
the horse.
That's fine because Robo Nezum can. I think
Which it's already constricting anyway. So first roll is an 8. The horse has currently 9 HP. So
I healed it for 6.
Yeah, you healed it for 6. It had taken 10 damage.
Okay.
Healed it for 6. It was down to 4. Then taken 8. Takes it up to 12. Plus 4 before I've even rolled the second d8. The horse's leg crumpled. And Luck yourself, you are thrown to the ground.
No,
How
because
so? I'm not on it.
Oh no, you're not on it. Sorry. Yeah, you
Nezum's the only
Nezum
one
is
that
slid
thrown to
off
the
of it. You
ground.
slid off of it. Yes, you did.
I may be at risk because I've literally just put my hand on it. So, which way did it fall?
Towards him or not towards him?
Let's roll another d20. Odds on you, evens not on you.
Can I have it the other way, please? I like odd.
Evens on you, odds not on you.
19.
19. It falls away from you. Nezum does a drop and roll and skirts off to the side in his
There's the
kind of
log going down.
comatose state. out of danger. The horse stops moving, and the snake lets go of the horse. Knickknack, it's your turn.
Yes. Um.
Oh, wait. Did the snake roll for the dust devil thing?
Does it
No.
need to do it
do
again?
that. It hasn't moved.
Oh, it has to roll it each turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, natural 3, it fails.
Yeah. So it
It
is
is bad.
Catapulted.
it is pushed back, and you take da 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 da
Okay.
da 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 da. Oh, you're lucky. 1 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. But it is frightened. Does it get to re-roll on each of its turns?
No,
Against the frightened.
no, it.
Read
No,
it me
it's
again.
frightened until the end of my next turn.
To the end of your next turn.
Just before it goes.
Okay.
Do it again. Do it again.
And
Yeah.
hold on, it is pushed out. I'm so sorry. I
Push
forgot.
back
10
10
feet.
feet, isn't it?
Sorry.
It's pushed back 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's pushed back 10 feet.
Yeah.
It hisses and writhes and whips its tail around and around, and its body
Although now it's no
worms in
longer
the
in the
air.
dust devil.
Yeah.
So you got launched out of it.
It's out of range of the dust devil, but then again, I can move the dust devil.
True.
Or its piercing yellow eyes stare at you.
You cannot come close.
No, it can't come close. Can't
He just
approach
like
you.
looks at you angry, and you're just there like going,
Na-na-na.
"I will eat you." Knickknack,
Okay.
save us.
I'm going to pull out my laser pointer of spellcasting stuff that I normally use to pick up things and fling them. But
Mhm.
this time I'm going to spin the disc on the front to change the laser point to a random color. And I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt at this snake at 2nd level.
Oh, very nice. Now, is that to
What's
hit,
it
or is
gonna
that,
do?
is that a saving throw? I think that's to hit.
No,
isn't
it's a
it?
roll to hit.
Yeah, but what it
And
does
I
is
missed.
random.
I missed.
So
I
let's
got
find
rolled.
out.
Unless I have any kind of advantage, I rolled a 4. So I got 11. So I don't think that's
Oh,
going to
my
hit.
armor class is 12.
Fuck. You don't know what to do with Ray.
So that's going to miss. And I'm just going to roll. So 6.
You don't have advantage on it because it's frightened. Do you? No.
To be honest, it was literally the worst possible thing to shoot a snake at because it was poison damage.
Well, it's not immune.
It's probably resistant though, at least.
No, there's no
Oh,
resistances
okay.
on this thing.
Cobras
whatsoever.
regularly eat other snakes. Snakes aren't immune. Snakes are only
Okay.
immune to their own venom.
Well,
Yeah.
this angry green bolt of stuff whizzes off into space past this thing.
The snake goes, "The fuck?"
And we're back to Robo Nezum. Get him. And Robo Nezum gets a 17.
That hits.
So what does Robo Nezum with his force impending rend? That is 1d8 plus proficiency bonus. 1d8 plus 2. Uh, 10 whole points of force damage as the Robo Nezum gets a big chunk out of this snake.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Fiona is going to maintain holding her action.
Kind of hope she's plumbing the other horse.
Misk, you'll go.
Bonus action, steady aim to give myself advantage. Short bow. Hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me a 19 hits this damn thing.
19 hits.
$15.
Okay.
Piercing. Against this thing.
Yep. It shrieks and it hisses. And the arrow kind of goes straight through, and you see it starting to bleed down from its scaly abdomen underneath on the belly of this snake. Luck,
Hmm?
you're up.
Eh,
I'm going to retract something I said earlier. It does not let go of the corpse of the horse. It still has its tail wrapped around the horse, and as it was shunted back, it's dragged the corpse of him.
Sigh. Okay. Well, first of all, yeah, going to walk so it stay 10 feet, in sight of me, and move my dust devil, with my bonus action up to his face again.
Mm-hmm.
As my action. What the hell? Yeah, let's go with a firebolt.
Okay.
That's a 10.
10 does not hit.
Can you roll me hold on. I need to check something. Yeah, no. Can you roll me a charisma saving throw, please?
8. Still frightened.
Still frightened.
That's okay. So, on the giant snake, it pulls the corpse back, and it itself is going to try and turn tail and leave and run away. And it is going to try and drag the horse corpse away with it. It is hunted, it is found prey, and it is now trying to get away from here. It's fighting a battle
It's
it
not
doesn't
what
think
we
it can
can-
win.
Robo Nezum, attack of opportunity.
Attack of
Same for me.
opportunity. You're not within range of melee range of it.
10 foot, whereas Robo Nezum.
Has to be a melee attack.
Yeah, but the tail, it's not near me. Nowhere near me.
Well,
You,
no,
your
because
choice.
you knocked it back and then it pulled the horse back with it. You knocked it away from you. So
Yeah, but I walked.
what, then you walked up to it.
Yeah,
Just to stay
10
within
feet. I
10
have to
feet
be
of
in
it.
10 feet.
Okay, but
Yeah, but
it's,
you have to, that would be
are
within
you
5.
within 10 feet or are you within 5 feet? There's a difference.
No,
5 feet you can make an attack roll. 10 feet you can't.
I'm within 10 feet of his face because it has to see me.
You're within 10 feet of its face.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but the reach of this thing is still only 5 feet. So we're talking 5 feet here.
You're not close enough. Let's stop worrying about the
And
statistics.
Robo Nezum.
Did you want to get into melee range with it? Is what I'm asking.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. I mean,
Let's be honest, as a melee attack, you're probably not going to do very well anyway. You're a sorcerer.
So don't get sassy with me.
If you want to try and hit it, you can try and hit it.
Don't get sassy with me.
Robonism. Opportunity
Robo
attack.
Nezum rolled a 1.
Swipes and misses.
Oh, Nezum is still on the horse.
No, he isn't.
He
Is
rolled
it?
off.
Thrown off.
He
He
rolled
rolled
off.
And the snake is going to have used 30 feet of movement to drag and retreat away with the corpse of the horse as it moves further back into the tree line.
It's quite
with-
big. I'm assuming it's not going to encumber it too much to take a horse.
No, it's a huge. It's a huge creature. It can drag a.
Yeah.
It's
large
basically
creature.
a dragon-sized snake.
Okay.
And it drags this horse up through the rocky tree line
I've got range.
and it's 30 feet away from you at the moment. Knickknack.
I'm gonna spin the dial, see if I can get a better one. I'm gonna do that bit where when you got the remote that's not quite working, and you're just like.
Absolutely. Go for it.
And we will cast another Chaos Bolt. That's going to hit a 14.
That'll hit.
So I roll 2d8 to work out which. So it's a 4.
Okay.
So it's fire damage.
Oh, okay.
Pre-cook it.
You hold a little wobbly massive chaotic energy at creature in range. Make a spell. And 2d6. Oh, hang on. No, sorry. I was reading the wrong chart. So 4 is actually force damage.
Okay.
Is it the one if you roll 6s, you roll again?
If you roll the same number on both dice, it gets to bounce to a different attacker.
It's a different one.
So it would be 10 points of force damage all told for the d8s and the d6s. On that, and bonus action, go get him, because Robo Nezum has a 40-foot movement. So we'll run up, try and take
How much damage does it take?
10 whole points of force damage. This red blob of chaos shoots out of the laser pointer.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Oh! Is my horse dead?
Probably.
I'm assuming horses don't get death saving throws.
They should.
It's minion rules.
They should.
To be honest, this
I
is
think the way Luke's is going
would
to
have
play
been
it
aiming
is...
for the head. So it's literally as this thing is sort of wriggling away with this horse dragging along. The head is slightly up a bit. Just going to literally sort of skim the top of it and sort of bounce its head into the ground, sort of thing.
Ugh.
You do. The snake starts slithering along, and you just launch this chaotic bolt of force energy, and you just see a head like smash against the ground, and you see dust clouds and rocks and dirt fly up into the ground, and you see the head kind of bounce up and then back down, and the body is inert and unmoving.
If you don't want snake for dinner, we can have horse.
Yeah, not.
Luke,
This is good.
Yes.
I want to try and do a thing.
Okay.
I have poisonous kit. I want to get snake venom.
The constrictor.
Oh, it's a constrictor. Never mind.
Not poisonous or venomous.
There is a big blob of poison that went that way. 120 feet.
I have a different thing. Can I skin it? I'm going to turn it into shoes.
I might be able to help with that.
We're both leather workers, mate.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it into shoes. No,
Cowboy boots.
I'm a tailor. Whatever that
Okay.
means.
I'm a leather worker, so
Together.
you can make the lining, I can make the outside bit. We're all good.
So, what do I roll to skin a snake?
All right. Leather workers proficiency. I'm going to call it wisdom.
I roll wisdom.
It's more about knowing how to do this rather than effectively doing it.
Then I don't think I do.
There's a lot of snake. You can probably start again elsewhere. You're not
You
going
can
to
have advantage because you're doing it together. You can either both roll or one of you can roll twice.
don't have leatherworker's proficiency anymore. That got changed when I made him a
Oh,
different. Bollocks. When I
I
made him
do. Well,
2024, it changed.
do you want me to do it? I've got leatherworking proficiency.
I know, but I thought I
still
did, but it got
aid and help
changed.
him do it.
I thought I did, but when I made him 2024, it was different.
Okay.
What did you make him instead?
Oh, medicine and poisonous kit.
Okay.
I got more proficiencies, but I made them different.
All right. Well, I'll still
I
allow
got mixed up.
Knickknack to make this check with advantage
With
if you're
advantage.
helping.
Sorry,
I've
Luke. I thought I did, and then I remembered I
That's all
changed
right.
it when I made this
got
update.
a dirty 20 and a 9. So dirty 20.
Okay. Roll me 3d10.
Do you just want the total or the individual
No.
roll?
Individual rolls.
7, 4, and 8.
Okay. Sorry, no, I did total. 7, 4, and 8. So
19.
that's 19. You get 19 feet of snakeskin.
Nice.
That's damn near enough to make a coat.
What do you mean? That's longer than all of us if we laid end to end. We could
You
all have
forget how.
a jacket.
Does anyone? Can we all have snakeskin jackets?
Snakeskin suit.
I'm gonna make a snakeskin coat.
Are you going to be a snakeskin gang? Is that
Oh,
what's
God.
going
Well,
to
we
happen?
are, well, we are like sort of, desecrating the corpses. Can I have a chef's based thing to maybe source some meat?
Absolutely.
So
I'd say with that check, you were able to get some meat as well.
Effectively, what
Make
we're rolling
me-
is butcher.
How much meat do you want to carry? Really, is the question.
Ah, I'm more thinking that I can smoke it. So as basically as much as I think I could reasonably smoke in Robo Nezum overnight.
Okay, you can do that.
So
This
I mean,
snake
it's
weighs
probably
about
going to be
3,200 pounds. So yeah,
it's probably going to be a decent amount, and it will give us however many days worth of rations. But I'm kind of visiting
Doesn't
it.
snake kind of just work as chewy chicken?
Well, I'm smoking it. It's basically I'm trying to turn it into jerky.
Oh.
snake jerky.
I'll have to
Well,
Google that.
I'm also not adverse to like having half snake and half horse.
Snake
I mean, horse
Oh,
jerky, given the fact that horses are made out of red meat, probably would work better than snake.
So I'm quite happy to take from both sources. So, maybe a 50-50 mix.
Okay.
Oh no,
50-50
people
mix.
sell it.
No,
Huh.
I do have a question, however.
Snakeskin jerky.
Do we find something in the snake's belly?
You find if you really want to get into that.
Luke,
Yeah.
turns out you can actually buy. Turns out you can actually buy python jerky.
Oh. Okay. Did
I was
not know
curious
that.
what it tastes like, so I googled it and I found a shop that sells python jerky.
So I've got some. It's arriving on Tuesday.
Oh gosh. Said we wanted snacks for D&D in a cave. I turned
Oh,
up with
God.
steak jerky.
Oh no,
Uh,
it's like £20. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah,
I'm just
no, it'll
curious
be
the fact that
expensive.
people would do that.
Oh
Um,
God.
I'm saving up to get to November.
That's all right. Yeah, so
Otherwise, I
essentially,
might be tempted.
there's a load of bones, a lot of bones
Okay.
in its belly, and that's about it. This thing's just been hunting these woods,
Hmm.
eating. You feel like it was more interested in the horses than it was in you, and it got what it wanted, but you managed to take it out before it got away to feed.
And then we turned it into food and maybe coat.
Shoes and coat.
So
Hey, if I'm going to keep changing and ripping my shoes, spare
Be
It
shoes.
is
fine.
style. So you are down a horse.
Mm.
Are we going to convert the horse into a pack horse and then?
Effectively, I think that seems like the idea.
Whereas you can move as fast as your slowest companion, which in this case
Is Fiona?
is Fiona.
Oh, she could ride Robo Nezum.
She can ride Robo no Bazoom.
But then
so-
you'd be the slowest member and we'd still be going the same speed.
No, because we'd then go at 30 rather than
Instead of
25.
25.
Goblins go faster than gnomes.
Yeah.
Goblins are 25. Goblins
it
are
was-
30. Gnomes are 25.
I thought it was like a
No, it's not a
size
small thing.
thing.
No, goblins
Huh.
are naturally fast.
You're a little bit fast, so your legs go.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched them move on a Baldur's Gate? The
No.
legs go much faster than the taller people.
Yeah.
Do
they are.
they? I've never paid that much attention.
The
That's
shorter
tremendous.
people, their legs are moving a lot quicker than the taller people.
Yeah, goblins. Hey, when I start
I'm
getting
learning
feet,
things.
I'm gonna get the little.
Turns out there's a place
I
in California
forgot
that sells
again.
snakeskin jerky. And
I
also
always,
goblins run
always
fast.
find it funny that the gnomes and the halflings in a Baldur's Gate 3 can jump and climb as high as the 6 foot, 8
Oh
foot.
no, but if you actually watch, so I'm playing as a dwarf at the moment, and when they climb off of ledges, they bump onto their bum and then jump off.
Yeah, it's great. The animation is brilliant. The going up
It's
is funnier
really
though
cool.
because it's literally just like power lift onto the edge.
Wake people up.
Um,
Do you know what
Anyway.
I did forget though? I forgot I have Fury of the Small where I can do extra damage because they're bigger.
Ah! My horse.
yeah, the horse is gone. So you are down. You are now walking on foot.
Yeah, there's a reason why Misk decided not to name them.
You are now 3 days out from River Point.
Yeah.
on foot.
Still going to continue.
Still going to continue.
Got no other bleeding choice, have we?
No?
Yeah.
You continue further along, collecting your things back together. Fiona's just like, you cast magic? I mean, I
Yeah.
know Asthma are divinely, naturally magic, but I've never actually met an Asthma, but yet alone I've never met
There's
somebody that
a,
can cast magic like you, other than, well, I say that Ileron, but
there's a reason
even ancient
why.
self, you're you.
There's a reason why I try not to attract attention on myself. As you said, not a lot of Asimar roam the land. And people start to ask questions. It's not that I don't appreciate people, it's just that I like to have my own peace of mind. And I don't like being bothered by those kind of questions, if you see what I mean.
All right. Well,
Could you perhaps not mention it?
okay. If they ask, are you magic? I'm not going to lie. But that's probably not a common question that people ask. So, if they don't ask, I'm not going to tell them.
It's important to me, but thank you.
I think about it. It just took me from a forest and saved me from a giant snake. So, maybe I'll think about it. Well,
One good thing, constrictor snakes tend to be solitary.
yeah, well, don't usually come this far from the river, to be honest. Don't really. The worst we get over there is Nixies.
Nixies.
Nixies? You don't know what Nixies are? Make me a nature check with advantage. Because you are from the Fey realm.
Hmm.
I know what a nixie is.
And all make me nature checks if you like.
Oh, yeah.
11.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
When I started this campaign,
That was
I said I'd tend
almost
to
a
wrong shit.
20. 16.
Jack, what was yours, sorry?
11. Maybe my
advantage?
DC's different.
With advantage?
Literally from the Feywild. Yeah, rolled two
Okay.
8s.
Knickknack?
I rolled a 12.
And Celia?
16.
Sorry, Luck. Even. Nixies. Nixies and Pixies.
Not where my brain went to.
Nixies are... They're related to Pixies in a way.
Mhm.
Asshole pixies.
But they are more water-born. They don't live in forests. They live in lakes, ponds, rivers.
Okay.
That's their domain. Or so the fairy tales and nursery rhymes say. That's all you know.
Okay. So, the river fairies are just roaming around, I guess.
Well, we get them causing trouble now and again down by the river, but
Now,
not very
Fae,
often.
of course they're going to cause mischief.
Well, it
You
depends
just
on,
have
you
like
know,
this side eye.
Yeah,
to
but
Ellie.
over Fiona's shoulder, you did just see see Ellie go from.
well, it depends on the kind of relationship you have with them. Like anything, if you know what they want,
Oh, I'm
then
very
they kind of
familiar.
leave you alone.
Sorry.
The
Don't
smile
annoy
gets too
them.
big.
Don't agitate them, and don't go splashing around in waters that you don't know are safe.
Good.
You should know, shiny things usually work.
Oh, it's like water wheel turbines. Does that not like piss them off?
Well, that's where knowledge kind of went into the realms of the unknown. That's why we needed the help of the meat glows. We needed to know more about their waters, so to find out where it was safe to plant them and put them. Where it
Have you
wouldn't just
done any kind of like fish population studies? Because you like not just blend up a load of fish or down the river?
it doesn't take up the whole river. It just takes up a portion of it down by the side. We're not talking about taking the river's very wide, you know. The fish aren't just going to go, oh look, blender.
Fish
They'll
are quite
swim
stupid.
round, kind of thing. I know they're basic creatures, but they have some self-preservation.
Can I insight that?
Yeah,
Somebody who studied animals, no, they literally will. They don't have much brains.
No,
Yeah.
I rolled a 3, so 2.
yeah.
So
I
this is
believe it.
Jack talking. A lot of fish will literally just walk straight into the blender. They don't have a damned clue.
Yeah.
It's a similar
Okay.
thing with
I'm
birds.
not going to talk bad about her work.
It's not making it feel bad. It's just me having a
No, she's not
brain
going
worm.
to talk negative things about her work. She's fully
True.
aware.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she's
Nick, that's
fully
really
aware that every now and then they
yeah,
have to hose
that's
it
all
down.
good.
Yeah,
If
it
the
needs
fish
it
swim
needs
out the
it
way.
needs cleaning now and again.
Just
Oh,
But
dang it.
yes,
Okay.
um,
Have you ever tried using the wind? Because, like, where I grew up, they had all the boats and they used the wind a lot, and that was useful for moving stuff around.
true, but the wind isn't always there. The water is, and
I
that's
think
where the
even if you
batteries
go,
come in. The storing of this energy comes in. If we
I
found
think
out
if
a way
you
to
go high
store the
enough,
energy, then yes, we could do the wind because then we could store the energy. But at the moment, we have no way of storing the energy, so therefore we rely on something that is constant.
but like the clouds never stop whooshing across the sky. So if you go high enough, it is.
Yeah, but that's a long way up.
But if you got like a kite and then you attached it to like a wagon, and your kite string was made of like your metal, and then you have a wind turbine rather than a thingy, you just have a constant feed going in.
Never thought of it like that.
Oh my god, are we going to invent turbine blimps? That's a thing, by the way. They're brilliant.
I absolutely know it is, but I also may have been playing the Jedi Outcast, the Jedi
oh,
wind farmers.
Oh,
And maybe we should come up with some diagrams and some notes. I'm sure my father
I
might
can
find that
make it
interesting when we get back.
And Knickknack just flicks through his random book of stuff with like notes
Could
and
make the blimps with the snake in as well.
um.
hmm.
But yeah, so anyway,
Giant. You know when you go by the boats and there's usually like those windsock things that they used to tell the wind direction.
Yeah.
Just imagine just a giant snake windsock.
oh God.
That
Could
sounds
stick
like
the
a great way
turbine in
to
its
ward
mouth.
off pirates.
You could stick the wind turbine in its mouth.
Maybe.
Sorry,
Anyway.
that was definitely the fairy going, oh, fucked up idea.
Let's hit the road. I can talk more as we go. I want to
That
get
was
out of here
definitely
before it gets dark.
That was definitely the fairy in him going, ooh, fucked up idea. That'd
Actually,
be
I thought
interesting.
something.
Right. We should actually try to find somewhere safe or get to the city as fast as we can.
And we continue. And we start heading off and continuing the rest of the day's journey. It's not long before you get to the edge of the forest.
Luke,
Yes?
I would like to say that from now on, Mix isn't the last one in the queue.
isn't.
Okay. Isn't.
Yeah, it's like if the one who got bit was the last one in the queue. So now, whenever they're walking, Miss goes, just like make sure he's in the
there's
middle.
somebody in front behind him. So,
Sorry, it just
No,
felt
it's
very
all right.
him to be like, fuck that shit.
I just have
I'm
to be
gonna
fast
stand in the
with
middle.
you.
You don't need to outrun the bear, just you just need to outrun them.
Mhm.
Right, so carry on. And you get to the edge of the forest. The trees start to get faster and faster to the point where there's less and less. And suddenly you are in large plains and fields and wet weed and moss and like large gorse bushes. And you're in like wet lowlands, not swamp or bog, but wetlands.
We've hit Scotland, you mean?
Yeah.
Scotland and the top of the mountain, top of the hills of Wales. Yeah. There's heather bushes and all sorts of things around. And yeah, you are now on the edge of the Airwood, looking out across the plains, and there is a thick, dense mist that hangs over through to the horizon. You can't even see the horizon, it's just foggy.
Um,
And the sun dips in the sky.
as we're traveling, can I kind of set links as like aerial recon to like do the flashy thing if they notice anything above us or around us, sort of thing?
Yeah, awesome.
And I'd like to ask Fiona. So, like, when we get to River Point, and like, is it going to be all like hassly, or is everyone going to be pleased to see you, or do you want to like sneak in? Because Ellie's really good at like sort of disguising people and stuff, so you can kind of sneak in, see what it's like and stuff before, like, you go, "Hey, I'm home."
I don't think, I'm not sure there's a way to sneak in, to be honest. I mean, it's River
Well,
Point.
I was thinking
Everyone knows everyone.
I was thinking Ellie could make you look like someone else. Ellie's good at that.
I think the sooner they know I'm home, the better.
Okay.
Would
It's not like they're
reassure
going to be.
people.
I don't know. Not sure how I feel about that. Also, if you make me look like somebody else, are we talking magic?
No,
Well, you didn't
Mostly
want them to
makeup.
know they could do that.
mostly makeup.
Oh,
I'm good at it. I used to work in a travelling fair.
she looks down at her wedding dress and tatters.
Plus, would you like me to fix that?
I think I'll just get a new one.
Did you like the dress?
I mean, I did. That's why. Well, that's why I bought it. But when I say I bought it, paid for it to be made.
You can fix it.
I've had a change of heart. I think I'm going to. My father wanted me to wear my mother's dress,
Mm.
and I said no. I didn't want this day to be about her and her memory. I wanted it to be about me. But I think I will.
What's changed?
I know which might be mine and yours, but it is about family, about all of us, and the future, and the past, and all of it. It is just about as much about her as it is about us.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, it's all right. I was very young.
Mm.
Anyway, shall we look at making camp somewhere soon? Find a dry bit of land, if there is any.
Is there any kind of hill or higher land in there?
There is
So we-
no hills here. This is flat
Flat and wet.
wetland. There are rockier bits of terrain, which are a bit drier and a little bit off the sodden ground.
Gonna be like, yeah, well, I think that's probably going to be the best unless we're going to stay in the woods for a night. Can we get across this like stuff in a day?
It's probably going to take at least 2.
Okay, so we just need to like find somewhere a little bit higher.
It was a lot brighter when I left. Wasn't it foggy? Days are getting cold, nights are getting colder, but then back to days being warm.
Winter is coming.
Shut
I did not realize. Yeah. Shut it! Let me intentionally be a nerd.
I mean, we've got a little bit longer yet. I mean, it's only leaf glide. Next month is Frostfall. That's when it'll start to get much colder. And then we have Deep Chill and Ice Turn. Those will be the coldest. They always are.
You live near the water. Of course it's going to be cold.
Oh, yes. Sometimes there's frozen ponds. The water never freezes. The river always runs.
A little idea for your turbine thing. Have you ever considered heating?
Yes. Using the energy to warm water. And then you put that water through pipes. And the pipes heat. And exude heat.
Did you get that inside homes?
In High Point we do, yes.
Good. Some comfort during the coldest time. Can
There's not
always
many
be
trees
good.
up in the hills, and the
Back
plains
in
of Haberlith are quite barren. So there isn't that much wood. Other than that, we'd have to come down the hillsides and into the airwood and chop wood from there, and then getting all the wood back up into the hills again. Well, we're not as stocky and as strong as the mountain folk. The stones aren't actually built for that. Our ingenuity knows no bounds, and while they swing axes and carry heavy loads, we sit in the comfort of our homes and let the water bring heat to us. So tell me, who's more apt? Who's the better survivor?
Hmm.
I mean, if you could cut it, you could always use the river. You could always just get the logs to the river and then just have a net at the bottom.
I mean, yes, but it's getting it back up the hill, back to town.
True.
Takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of strength.
Hmm. I do wonder,
Sailing upriver is very hard work.
have you ever reached out to the closest city, Silver Fern?
We know Silverfan, yes. We have merchants come back and forth quite a lot.
Have you ever extended the invitation for such
They don't have a
resource?
river.
They don't have a river, but if you do find some kind of way to store
And what
your
timber we
energy,
have had, they have delivered and shipped to us from their lumberyard.
that's not what I meant. I meant that if you do find a way to store your little energy, you could open some kind of, well,
Maybe. Until then, only the river sounds will be able to use it. But if we manage to crack it, and we can store energy, it won't just be Silverfan, it'll be anywhere. Everywhere. Anyone. Saying that, I don't think the mountain folk would welcome it. They're very prideful people, set in their ways of tradition.
I still think the crystal are the best way you're going to find anything.
Would be right. But rare resources make it much more finite,
Hmm.
and then mean it won't be for everyone because it will be more expensive to provide. We can find a cheap, plentiful way of doing it, then it's for everyone.
I do have a question though. How do you make this light? Because when I looked into your little pen thing, it looked like some kind of filament in it.
So it's a tiny little bit of metal,
Metal.
and over time it burns out through the energy coursing through it. But you can replace it, and you pop it in between the two wires, the two conductors.
have
And you
you
can kind
ever
of have like a lens, like that's warped, and it projects the light.
Does it like?
So, sorry,
That's fine. Are you gonna be like? Can you start fires with it? Because if it's getting hot,
good start
I mean-
fires.
Potentially, but not this one. This one's too low a voltage.
The
I'd
idea
need
that
something thicker and more sturdy, and I would need to crank it a lot more to maintain that kind of energy to cause fire.
Well,
But
if you
in
had something
theory-
like char cloth,
yeah.
char cloth does go up quite quickly.
Well, if we're talking about starting fires from natural resources like wood, then yes, it's feasible that I would be able to develop something along those lines, given the right
I
resources.
do have a question though, because you said it's metal that actually makes the light.
Well, it's very small bit of metal, and like it's more about the conduction of the electricity that causes the energy to flow from the.
Yes,
Yes.
but you use metal to, as you said, conduct this
Yes,
energy?
so the energy travels through metal. All different materials have different types of magnetism and fields. Metals are much more conductive and have a lot stronger fields for passing of energy. Things that are
Okay.
more organic, like wood,
But
don't really
wood-
have those kind of magnetic fields, so it doesn't pass through.
But would
without
another kind of
being a-
metal store that energy?
Potentially, but as I said before, the rarer we start going in metals, the less effective it is to offer to the mass population. There are certainly ways that we could achieve this. And believe me, we have looked at crystals, we have looked at rare metals, and we've even looked at trying to get some of the more organic metals in. But that defeats the purpose of our work.
What about liquids? You said also something very solid, but what about liquids?
I don't know.
Try
Not
something.
exactly versed in liquids, but with the right solution,
Because
some kind of form of dialysis, maybe we'd be able to.
I'm going to show you something, if you don't mind. I don't know if you actually have been exposed to it. Like, and she's going to get a water skin out, kind of some kind of ball that some of us have, and like hold the balls above a stone, and it's technically a shocking grasp, and she's going to basically touch a bit of the water with the shocking grasp, like let the energy fizzle out in the water.
Oh yes, no, water is very conductive of this energy, of this yeah,
Yeah.
like
If
lightning.
it's
When it hits
if-
a lake and you see lots of dead fish along it in the morning.
yeah.
Um,
My point is, if water is something that spread your energy, is there a liquid that can retain it?
In theory, yes, but the liquid itself, it would have to be so dense to the point that it's not almost a liquid anymore, that it would have to have such a density of molecules for the energy to flow around it without burning
Molecules?
out.
you should have a chat to the guy that makes the wizard hats.
Sorry?
There's a guy in the city that makes wizard hats, and he uses liquid that's like metal but liquid.
Oh, are
What,
you
you mean
talking about
mercury?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
very hazardous material?
true.
But at the right temperatures and in the right conditions, it can be very useful.
That's also the case of glass, from what I understand. I heard some whispers from crazy people where I come from that glass was both solid and liquid at the same time.
It depends on the extreme amount of heat that it comes under. That's how we form glass. It's essentially sand going under extreme heat. And if you can keep it at high temperatures and molten for a long period of time, you can change its shape, just like metal.
Hmm.
That's how you end up with such great glass vases and goblets and all the things you drink from. Everything is malleable. Everything. Just have to figure out how. make it malleable.
TM,
That's-
I have a dumb question. Does lithium exist in your world?
I'm not a scientist.
She is. That's the problem.
I know, but I'm not. The
I'm
world is only
really
as-
restraining myself. I
the
don't know
world
if
is
you see
only as
this.
deep as my imagination and what my
You
knowledge
turn
is. And
into
I'm
a
not that
geek,
smart.
Luke.
I'm
No,
really
but
restraining myself.
let's put
I
it
don't know
this
if you
way.
see this, but I'm really like,
Luke,
Hmm.
what you have is a fairy who's used to living in the woods,
Yeah.
listening to this conversation. And effectively, after a certain point, his brain goes wizard shit.
Yep. Wizard shit. Wizard shit. Wizard shit.
Not because it's magic, because it sounds like they're saying magic words.
Might as well be magic. It might
Yeah.
as well be magic.
technically, it could be magic. It could be, yeah.
Science is magic, really. Just we have
Yeah.
a better idea of how it works.
Science
Mm.
is magic, but we got rid of all the fun.
You don't have to say spells. But yeah. Anyway.
I mean, I did chemistry for a while. I definitely prayed at least once or twice.
There's equation.
Oh,
Right.
It didn't explode.
Are
Yay.
we? So we are trying to find somewhere to settle down for camp
Yes.
in
Sorry.
the wetlands. So, um,
I can
Make
drive
you-
some lands with prestige.
okay. So you start drying out some land with prestidigitation.
Thank you.
Set up a small campfire. You take your remaining horse. You tie them up.
Yeah.
To some of the stronger shrubbery. And you
I like to think because you can light a fire with prestige. I like to think that it's like it's just parts of finger, and you have just like a zap of thing that will just.
I
you
mean,
know the change you could make to people's lives with such magic.
Sorry.
There are people in the world that freeze to death, starve to death, are homeless. And there are magics out there where people could change everyone's lives, but they don't. Take them to places to do grand miracles for themselves. They go to great big cities where they're adored and seen as strong people, but they do nothing for the people.
Look,
But
how
last-
is the
Fiona, welcome to Luck. She's one of the useful ones.
When I try to help people, something always comes up and ruins it for me.
People distrust magic.
Yeah. I wasn't using magic. That's the thing. Outside of combat, I really try not to use magic at all. Because people are scared of what they don't understand. And because simply of what I am.
I think I'm kind of working it out. And what people call magic is energy, and like what you do and like some of what I do is energy, and you can kind of put them together and take them apart and things. And I think I'm kind of working out how they work together and apart.
I think it's more to do with history. I mean, I don't know whether any of you are really religious or know your history.
I am. On both accounts.
Thousands of years ago, we had nothing, had no magic, nothing. There were those that walked the world that seemed to be spoken to by gods and goddesses, and we believed them because they spoke truth. They led people to Greenland. They performed what we thought then were miracles. But they were just being informed about information from the goddesses, where to find water, where to find good food, where to take shelter, when storms were coming. They were just being told information. And we saw that as magic. Now it's when the unveiling happened, and those that were close to the divine were given abilities, and there were those that suddenly felt like they could see the weave and manipulate it and learn from it over those centuries of magical learning. We became divided. Those pious and religious and believed that it's not something we should have had.
Magic is for everyone. It's a gift, yes, but it's a gift given that anyone can have.
Parts of this world are scarred beyond repair. Nature can't even reclaim parts of this world because of what magic brought. People that used it did. Magic is unbiased, unprejudiced. It's not discriminatory against who it helps and who it destroys. In right hands, it can do wonders. In the wrong hands, it can cause catastrophe. And
Magic
it's geared
doesn't
in the
have-
right hand. And I think history and people and all the bad things a lot more than they remember. But the Ascension War lasted centuries. SMR armies reaped across the land, destroying Magi, the cities they built. You look at Brindle, twin city of Erendor, once stood as a pinnacle of Magi creativity. Two cities that Magi built an astonishment, a wonder to the heavens. Were the finest creations on this planet, and SMR leveled it because of what it represents. An need for divinity.
I don't get my magic from divinity.
Where do you think magic comes from?
All around.
Never existed before, and then suddenly it existed. Things like that happen without divinity allowing.
They have awoken that potential, yes.
And then they realized they made a mistake, and they took it away.
Fiona, there's a term from where I'm from. The books are written by the victors.
And why are the Yasamar no longer roaming this world, showing us of their divine power?
Because they are fucking scared. That's why.
Exactly. They are no longer as powerful either.
No. And then being
Over
a bunch of
centuries of
cowards.
diminishing. Magic is not something we can rely on. We have to find other ways. And that is why we do what we do. To make a better world. For everyone. Not just for the few.
If you abandon magic completely, you abandon a source of energy that can be very useful to anyone and everyone.
And I
Tools
also abandon a weapon.
accordingly. You created a new energy. It's going to create a new kind of weapon down the line.
Maybe.
Because that's what people do. That's what people sing a new kind of power. Take it, create something that can annihilate They can diminish other people so they can have control. That's the nature of people. That's the nature of those that are smart, too smart for their own good. That's what they do with power. And they keep it under lock and key. Because if by mistake someone were to know how to wield this power, if they wouldn't be exceptional, there would just be another one in the crowd. And they don't want that. No, they don't want that. They want to shine. They want to be prayed to. They want to be gods. That's what people are with power. And it is disgusting.
The shining cities around here doesn't tend to work out well.
Many
They are
winter
wandering. We've got
and a
one right
warm
here.
home. That's all we're trying to give people.
Fiona.
Not war. Not monuments to goddesses. Not bringing people back from the dead or turning wood to gold. Just warmth, drinking water, and full bellies.
Your
And if
energy.
goddesses can't do that, then what are they for?
Your energy, one way or the other, is going to be taken from you and used in a way that will horrify you.
Do you mean like this? And there's various sort of electrical based well, Knickknack's got like shot gloves ready, electro grenades, little hand crossbow tasers.
That's the whole point, though. Not my energy. Everyone's.
Yours.
It's your name.
Our.
It's your name that is going to be remembered.
No,
Yes, it is.
it could be the person that makes something evil. That will be
Your
remembered.
family name will be engraved on it. You want to know
Okay.
why?
But then tell me, do you remember the name of the Magi that scorched Aboleth? The Asimar that trod through the fields and burnt and killed and slaughtered thousands and destroyed whole towns of Kaf?
Do I DM?
There's a whole path
I
named
kind of
after
wanted
a
to just start
general.
listing names.
Hold on. Sorry?
There is a whole path in between the Great Hills, between High Point and Moorhain, called Arian's Path.
Mhm.
You would know Arian. Arian. Arian Asteral.
Mhm.
Over 1,000 years ago, during the Ascension War, there are statues of this general in the cities of Solaris and Lunaris and Equinox. Famed general that performed great deeds across Seraphinna during the Ascension War for the Asimar. Make me a history check.
Yeah.
I just like the idea. She's
Would
like,
you
do
say
you
I have
remember this?
advantage?
And then she just goes, bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say I have advantage since I probably have studied it and people are just
Okay, yes, because of your heritage, you have advantage.
Okay, so that's the first one, which isn't bad. 16.
Okay. Habaleth didn't used to be a dry, arid wasteland that it is known to be today. It used to be lush, a green valley with the flowing Karth River that flowed through it. There was a great Magi city, whose name had long been forgotten and stripped from the records on the east bank, not the west bank of the Karth. The Hableth Valley was difficult to penetrate from the Asimar armies during the Ascension War. For over a century, they tried to breach through the mountain path, the gap into the Hableth Valley, the main entrance from the Seraphaic continent. But their armies couldn't penetrate past the Great Towers. The towers, whose names are load up the right document. Iminnuil and Eastfeld. Two great Magi towers that overlooked the entrance to Hableth. And it was from these towers that the Magi defended Hableth and prevented the Asimars' advance, and the Magi had a safe haven within this great valley. However, the great general Orion found another way into Hableth. And while a large force was at the northern pass between the two towers, Orion took a pass through the airwood, through the hills, bypassing the towers completely, crossed the river, and attacked the Magi city, while the vast forces of the Magi army were not even there. They were up defending the main entrance to the valley. And ever since then, that strip of the airwood in between the hills of Moorhain and High Point has been known as the Orion Path.
She's going to retell that story to or their friend, like almost religiously, like he has been taught to her like on and on and on and on and on again. But on her face is not that admiration or anything, it's just disdain. Pure disdain. Yeah. I know who they are. I know what happened.
And I don't need to tell you that there will always be people that do terrible things. But my family aren't one of those people.
Your family
We won't
isn't.
be remembered for that. The people that commit those deeds, atrocities, whatever you want to believe, they'll be remembered.
My point is, my dear, is that you created it.
We didn't
And
create anything.
people
We found out how to use it.
that are angry, people that have later on, because it will happen. Not because of you, not because of your family, I hope, but because of someone else. They're going to drill your family name on it. And when they're going to fail to do something and they're going to hurt people, they're going to point fingers directly at you. Because that's what they do. So be
I think
prepared.
you're trying to tell a future that hasn't happened yet. All
Sorry?
we're doing is help. I think you're trying to tell a future that hasn't happened yet. And I don't appreciate your feigned warnings about us just trying to help people. If everybody who tried to help somebody and create something good stopped because somebody bad might do something with it, then we would still be living in the unknown epoch of darkness where people struggled.
I'm only giving you a warning because
I
this is a
don't need your
fantastical
warnings.
thing that you are creating. I
mean,
want you,
somebody
just
could
want
make
you
legs.
to be secure. I just want you to do great, to do fantastic, to continue to spread, to grow, to bloom.
So do we. That's all we want. And we have no way of stopping anyone. So, any more powerful people out there in the world, if they wanted to take something and make it dangerous, they will. And until then, we're going to continue to help people.
They're going to use your name.
They won't use our name. Our aim is nothing of that for them. Anyway, I am tired of the philosophical argument of the betterment of enology. For now,
Anyone want some jerky for dinner?
Oh God.
I'm curious what snake
Can we
tastes
agree
like.
to disagree at least?
oh, we can disagree. And this is the exact conversation we're having back at Rev.
Oh dear.
Because some of them aren't used to change. And I appreciate that. And I respect not fearing the unknown and something different.
I'm for change. I'm always for change because things have to change.
I know. And they will.
It's just that I'm always thinking at several things at the same time. The positive way will bring what is in between and what people will inevitably do in negative way. Because we always make mistakes.
Knickknack,
Yeah.
when we get back from the town, we're going to make an air balloon.
Okay.
Maybe you're going to help us make a battery too. You see kind of a defiant air about her after her kind of little debate with Luck about
Knickknack,
history. It's almost like it just all it's done is fuel her to return and help make something even better.
Knickknack's nightly musings are sort of a random mismatch of things. So yeah, there's like sort of trying to get an air-based, kite-based turbine thing going with a big lead coming down to feed a motor or something. But he has also designed a taser and shock grenades.
There is two sides to the argument going on precisely right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Knickknack has ideas, they come out on the page.
I looks at that. I just look at. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fiona, thank you. Look at Fiona like. Fine. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. This is precisely what I was warning people about, but sure.
You settle down for the night's travel.
Mm.
And you make camp.
Yeah.
And you take a long rest.
Matt, are you getting any of these? Matt.
What, have you been sending messages? Sorry,
Yeah.
No.
Because you're sending them to me.
I made a mistake.
And
yes, there's absolutely steak and horse.
While they're talking, they just get the shark teeth and they're just like, feed me, goddammit, I can't listen to this anymore.
you all tuck into some horse and steak.
It is moral debates between a priest and a scientist. Either feed
I'm
me or
not
shoot
a
me.
priest.
Barahi!
I'm a politic, and that's the problem because I'm personally not
That's
someone
worse.
that does politics, so it's very hard for me.
Balahi, feed me.
Yes, I will dish out some dinner.
No, seriously, it's really hard for me to come up with this kind of idea because I usually don't think like that.
Oh, there's a reason why I stuck Sylvan in there. That was in canon. Feed me, please. It's these two arguing.
Right.
I like to think
yes,
this is a friendly
you-
debate, though.
Oh yeah, but she's a little offended because you started talking about like her family name will be the one that and she didn't take kindly to that.
No, I did.
You pushed it like while she understood and she was having that friendly debate and that philosophy behind creation and progress and change. As soon as you started getting the family name involved, it started to become a little bit personal, and that's where the offence was taken. You
Yeah.
pushed it just that little bit too far for her.
Ah,
And she shuffles over to Knickknack and spends the rest of the evening kind of poring over his gloves and things like that, and going over diagrams. They just sit there like the two little huddled
If I
beings
remember
that they
right,
are on a stone.
Knickknack's gloves work the same as her torch.
Literally, yeah.
It's just
Knickknack
bigger.
gloves are little wind up.
Mhm.
He just
Exactly.
winds it up
And
and
it- yeah.
bitch slaps somebody.
And I think the idea is that I think it's just nice how the creature that she feared the most when she first approached into the woods and saw your camp is now the one that she's bonding with the most.
yeah.
As she sits there and they draw over their love of the mechanical while eating snake jerky and chewing on some horse stew. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Although I would like to say Misk does get some sort of sheer weird fairy joy to the fact that it tried to eat us and then we're eating it.
Yeah.
Try to eat me? Now I'm eating it.